Hey, good afternoon, everybody. We're coming to you live from Southway Bowl at the CBA tournament, our September first leg of the Locker Guy Bowler of the Decades. Joining me in the booth will be our newest CBA Hall of Famer and a CBA president, Matt Payne.
Hello.
By the way, I'm Tom Corbett, in case you don't know that. Brady Stern's standing right up next to us here, and I want to ask how he bowled today, because, he didn't bowl. He had a little bit of a knee issue. So he broke even. Yeah, good point. We had 48 bowlers today, and this is a little bit different format we use. It's kind of eliminator format. We only take the top 12. Normally we would take 16 into our match play, but this way we just take the top 12 and 16 cash. And what they're doing right now is bowling 2 more games for basically seeding purposes. So 1 and 2 are on one pair, 3 and 4 on another pair, 5 and 6 on another pair, and so on. And the higher seed of those bowlers get the choice of if he wants to start the match or not. And then after this game, this is game 9, they will move a pair to the right, and then they'll flip-flop their starting order. And so basically it's a 10-game qualifying, so to speak, but just 2 extra games. And I'll give you the rundown of who's leading it to watch it right here in front of us. Aaron Schroeder, after 8 games, is leading at plus 140. Chad Nelson, plus 135. Third is Jace Goedel at plus 101. Zach Andresen, plus 74. Daniel Kimmer, 5th at plus 67. Dave Ullman, plus 62 is 6th. Zach Mitchell, plus 60. Josh Kennedy, 8th at plus 56. Rob Clements, plus 52 with the awesome 300 game in there.
Yeah.
Jumped him right up there. He's your 9th place. Caleb Pashina, 10th at plus 48. Scott Endersby, 11th at plus 45. And Clark Polzer, plus 17, rounds out the top 12. And I have to go get my
He's got his food coming.
Strips. Making all that noise, my beeper went off. You know, when you're hungry, you're hungry. Thank you very much. All right, so Matt, this pattern was long and a fair amount of oil.
It sure was.
It played long with a fair amount of oil, especially early.
Yep.
But you had to be in.
Yep.
And then it kind of started hooking okay towards the end, but I didn't have enough, would you call that, side rotation to get the ball to finish very strong.
You and I both. I felt like I was like in a telephone booth, because as soon as I got it just a hair right, it waved at the head pin. And that's kind of what was yesterday too.
Yeah, you guys bowled the
Southway Open. Southway Bowl Open. I don't know. That was yesterday, and that was on a longer pattern, but not as much oil. But it still played like this. We still had to get deep, and you couldn't throw it to the right. I watched Will the last couple games throw it to the right early.
Will Matafee?
Will Matafee, yeah. It would check and go dead left, which was yesterday as well, because everybody played in the track, to start, and then everybody migrated left. Well, as soon as you touched the track where we all started, it was gone. Not for me, though. I couldn't get the ball to wrinkle off anything. Felt like I was throwing a dart at the 1-3.
How'd you end up yesterday? Anything at all?
I didn't do anything at all. I did the same thing I did today. I started off slow. Then I had a 3-game block in there where I went 220, 240, or 220, 230, 190, and kind of made myself think I could get there, and then kind of petered out.
I understand.
So it was tough.
Has anybody here made the cut for the first time? I don't believe so.
I don't.
Daniel Kimmer hasn't made the cut very often. I know he's here in the top 12. Jace Goedel's been bowling pretty well so far this year.
And he was in the ladder last month. Pretty sure.
I have stats. Will Matafee, speaking of Will's been helping me do the stats. So he has them updated after the first 4 tournaments. And Jace Goedel is in 11th place. I'm not sure what he did last month. I just have the top after 4 tournaments. So obviously I know he's been bowling pretty well. Your points leader after 4 games is Brady Stearns. And he didn't gain today, but Will Matafee bowled And did he cash in there?
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah,
he did. So
right
he got
above me.
5 points. So he still didn't catch Brady, but Josh Kennedy was third, 69 point. He made the cut. William Jones just missed the cut, shooting
he did?
288. Yeah, he was +9. He just missed the cut.
Must have had a rough couple last games then. I thought he was in for sure.
Yeah,
I
we
just
all
assumed
thought
we'd
that.
see him.
Exactly. Well, he finished 165, 212 the last 2.
Yeah, 165 is not a very good game.
No, I had a couple of those. I thought that was good.
Yeah. Tough way to end the day, but you still got to check. So
You still got to
could be
check.
worse.
Good to see Zach Andresen bowling. You just see him
No,
off to the right of
I
your
prefer he
screen.
not, 'cause taking away spots from
point.
us. But no, it is good to see him bowl.
He's been traveling around the world a little bit. He went to Korea.
With the junior team USA, I believe.
I believe it was, and
Yeah, he bowled yesterday too, and I crossed with him all day. And the first 2 games yesterday might be the most lost I've ever seen.
okay,
him.
all right.
I think he went 140, 150, and I thought there's no way this isn't the same kid I've seen just whack him. And then he turned around and whacked him.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it just took him a second.
Good to see Kayla Pashina making the cut too. She bowls all the LPBT events also, and I'm not sure how well she's done, but I know she's cast here and there at different times. So very good bowler. And Katie Ann Schrader bowled today too, and just missed. She was 17th at -33, but her husband led qualifying. So we would have been one of those. I think it was only one time where we had a husband and wife duo make the same match play.
Sure.
That's in the factoids, by the way.
Factoids.
And I have them here somewhere too.
Those are going to have to get handed off so someone else can read the factoids
Well,
at the
somebody's gonna have to
banquet.
do this at the Hall of Fame banquet after the doubles tournament because I'm going to be in Prague.
Prague.
So it's 7 hours difference. I'll be 7 hours ahead. You guys do this when your speech, Matt, at 5:30, 6 o'clock. It'll be, like 1 in the morning. I'll toast to you at that time.
All right.
So somebody's got a live stream. That's so I can watch it. So I can give my 2 cents worth in there.
Might have to talk Jason into live streaming it.
Just for that speech anyway.
Right. Jake, I don't know if you heard, but Brady had a knee issue creep up on him after yesterday's bowling, so that he's not in attendance. Well, he's in attendance. He's just not bowling.
Did you get a final qualifying sheet?
I did.
Okay.
I read them off.
Good deal.
And we already talked about a little bit about Katie Ann Schrader. Well, she was 17, so she didn't actually cash. But if she would have made the cut, we would have had the second time any husband and wife duo made the cut at the same time.
Who was the first one?
Well, that would be Sam and Deb Lanto.
I kind of figured that might have been the answer.
It's in
I
the
would have put money on
factoids.
that, but I figured I'd have you tell me for sure.
Anybody respond to Jake?
I did. I just said what was going on. He's honestly right here.
Yeah, he's 3 feet away.
Yeah.
We are joined in the booth here by our tournament director, Jason Hansen, also.
Hi, everyone.
What did you do to the lanes that makes it that on a really long pattern, I somehow can miss the 10 pin to the left? I don't understand it.
I didn't do a lot to the lanes,
Oh, okay. Well, then never mind.
but
It was Jay, wasn't it?
the history of them has done a lot to them.
Are they like
A
this
lot-
in the corners
A lot
or
of
something?
wear, just to, there's some friction out there.
I feel like there's a bank out there where the 10 pin stands and it just never wants to get there. It's the only house I ever see that at.
I don't believe that.
Believe what you want.
You're talking about missing 10 pins to the left. I missed 2 of them to the right, so.
Yeah.
And I skidded by 2 6 pins. I picked off the 10 both on those times. Either way, they were opens.
There was a fair amount of sauce out there.
Yeah,
There was.
Yeah, the old jet plane pattern lends itself to 33 mils almost.
Is that the name of the pattern?
No, it's the
Lucky
Larson.
All I know is
But it kind of looks like a fighter jet.
my ball didn't really
Oh, yeah.
hook much. Oh yeah, it does. The fighter jet. I like it. I mean, I don't like
46,
it.
almost 34 mils. My bad. 33.96.
They just
so-
couldn't put another .04 mils out there just
Well,
to get her to.
that bumps your category up. See?
Oh, and what's that?
I don't know, but it bumps your category up.
All right, fair enough.
Next level of hardness.
Like the
You mean-
Super Sport.
Yeah.
You mean they're harder? There's something harder?
I don't know that there's much harder. What is
No.
this?
2.19 to 1.
2.19. Okay, well,
I
there's
guess
some harder.
That 45-foot US
Did you
Open
use
pattern.
ice and curve?
We used 2 tanks.
Okay.
We used the first tank, and then we used the first tank.
Oh,
Again.
okay.
And that was full of ice or curve?
We actually do have curve.
Oh, okay.
That is the oil we use here.
How many different oils are there?
Oh, good golly.
Oh, a lot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is quite a few.
Well, I mean,
isn't
'cause you
there?
start getting into
fire
this-
and ice and
Well, you just always hear about the Kegel ones and that, but like
Oh,
Brunswick
sure.
is going to have oils and that for their machines. So there's a bunch.
well, they're so fancy here. They actually have 2 oilers.
Yeah, we actually, yes, we have 4. Well,
Oh.
3 now. We sold them.
3 oilers.
Do they walk by themselves?
That black one down there does.
It does, okay.
That's the new one.
Okay.
New to us. All 3 are custodians. We have in the back, behind the lanes, there is a
Silver bullet.
original custodian. That's the corded one.
Right.
And then the red one down there on the left is a custodian ion. So that's cordless, but you still have to move it lane to lane. And the black one is a custodian walker, so it walks. But all 3 are custodians.
It's pretty amazing to me how they program that, where you just start on lane 1 and just let the thing go, and you can do other stuff while that's oiling the lanes.
It is really nice for being able to multitask. Yesterday with the Southway Open up here, we Jay and I were working and we buffed the approaches while it's oiling. I mean, you can get so many other things done.
I did notice there was no re-oil after qualifying for these next 2 games. Is that, I know it's by choice, you always pick some, but is that because there was a lot of oil in this pattern to start with, you didn't think you needed to?
Yep, I kind of felt
I think
I chose this to see if we, thought it could hold up for the day. And then, this it isn't a lot shorter, but it ends up being just a hair shorter than like if we had gone top 12 into a 6-game luck of the draw.
That's another thing. This is a different format. I mentioned the format earlier where we'll have only 2 more games here, and then we're just kind of in an elimination format. And the top 3 after these 2 games are already seated in the step ladder.
Yeah, they're 1, 2, 3, so that's kind of part of it too, right? Is to have the carryover from qualifying be there to reward who did the best through the whole front part, first half of the event.
Yeah, and I talked about this is the first leg of the Locker Guy Bowler of the Decades where we try to do different formats rather than just our typical 8-game qualifying, top third of the field, come back bowl 6 more games.
Yep.
And then a top 5 bowl step ladder. So we want to do something different.
Yeah, different formats or none. Nice. It's fun to have, just not the monotony of kind of what we go through in the
Right.
summer of 8 games qualifying, 6-game luck of the draw match play, go to a step ladder.
And then, so the way this works, the Bowler of the Decades, sponsored by the Locker Guy, or the guy who works for the Locker Guy now. So what we do is if you're 29 and under, 30 to 39, 40 to 49, and 50 and over. Those are the 4 categories. And we use September, November, and December and February for those 3 tournaments. And how you do based on your age bracket, the winner of that gets $300 each. And then at the year-end tournament, each winner bowls an extra game at the year-end, and for another $300 for the Bowler of the Decades winner. And last year, standing right next to me, is Brady Stearns, who won that. got a picture. Yeah, Brady won the overall roll-off last year at the year-end tournament for the extra $300 and the title of the Locker Guy Bowler of the Decades. So I mentioned they're both 2 more games. So after 10 games, 1, 2, and 3 are already seeded. 4, 5, and 6 get a bye. I believe that's the way. And then the other 6 bowl again. When Jace gets back here, I got to verify that's the right format. Another good shot by Aaron. He bowled well all day. Qualifying leader at 140 over. Looks like Zach Andresen had 232 over there, I believe. Well, so Jace Goedel had a 232 and Zach Andresen 211. Davey Ullman's over on 21 and 22. It looks like he could have 230 with a strike here in the 11th. And he's bowling along with Daniel Kimmer. He could still have 189. Aaron Schroeder right here. He can have 173 max. 194 max for Chad Nelson. Rob Clements 161, but watching, if you see the ball going down, I think 15 and 16, or on 16, that's going to be Kayla Pashina. She could have 230 striking out here in the 10th.
Brady, was that in? Were you them? Did you open the 10th? Thanks. You make me feel good. Was it at a 10 pin? Damn it.
Yeah, a solid strike by Kayla. Stayed on lane 16 for a turkey. One more, it gets into 230s. A little further over on the left, see that 10 pin? That was Scott Endersby.
And he hit his spare ball harder than the strike.
Yeah. That half 10, dead 10, medic, whatever you want to call it, I left a lot of those today. I think that if I changed it 14 pounds, the ball would deflect and hit the 10 pin. Gonna try that with a 13 pounder maybe next time. The reason I say that is when my daughter Carly was bowling, when I got her up into 12 pounds, when she was using 10 pounds, the ball would fall in the gutter. When she was using 12 pounds, and the ball hit the 10 pin. She averaged one way up.
Great game.
Kayla threw 3 really good strikes in the 10th frame, and the ball didn't really cover any boards, but it also didn't skid to the right. It just kind of kept rolling, staying on line. I had a little trouble on the low end of the house where the ball was hooking early, and of course when I moved in, it wouldn't hook at all.
Right.
They were tough on that end, and I'm not sure if anybody had any good games. And the lower end of this house, named 1 through 8, I think they've always been a little bit tougher.
They are the toughest.
somebody's asking if somebody got the scores.
Yeah.
They don't know the Hanson ladies who
Oh, yeah.
are on top of everything here. They're getting the scores. Oh, yeah, well, of course we got them, they said. And they did. That would be Stacy, which is Jason's wife, and Allie, which is their daughter. And they help run this, do all the back behind-the-scenes stuff and get the scores, and everything runs smoothly because they get all the scores and they're correct, and they do a really good job.
His other daughter's actually bartending right now.
Is where?
Bartending.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, the whole family works here. That's a good thing. So everybody's done with that first game. I'll give you, I don't care how many chances you want to guess who was the last one done to finish that game, that match.
The ageless one.
Well, he did that for 149. He's going, why did I even bother making it? Because he still has a chance.
You still have.
Yep. See, Rob just didn't pick up that 310. Want to know why? He's a 16-pound bowling ball and didn't deflect.
That's right.
Someday he'll learn. How many people use 16 pounders? I think him, Chad Nelson, and Dave Wollman still use 16 pounds. I don't know anybody else who does.
I'm trying to think. Well, I think Pashina uses 16. Yeah. David, you use 16-pound ball.
I did.
Oh, you've
I'm
dropped?
back to 15.
Okay. Never mind.
5 years.
Take it all back.
Yeah.
I think we got Chad, Clements, and Holman.
Right.
Yep, that's what we just said, yeah.
Who about Dan Bach?
I think he does too, but we'll only see him at the doubles.
We saw him at the trios.
Oh, yeah, that
Yeah.
too.
You weren't there, though.
I was not there.
They only had 15 teams at Baker Trios last weekend, which was disappointing.
That is disappointing.
In fact, I'm not even sure who won. It was either...
Didn't really post it.
No, they haven't posted who won or whatever. It was either the Locker Guy team of Chad, Dan, and Brady, or Lumpy Wilbur, or whatever they call themselves.
Yeah.
Dave Langer, Ryan Burr, and Will Manafee. If they would have taken 8, the trio of Sam Lanto, Scott Sodergren, and Tom Corbin would have made the cut if they would have taken 8. He only took 6. I was disappointed.
We needed to bring a couple more teams in.
Well, this is an old thing that guy named Brian Berg used to say. He come from Menominee, and he always came to a CBA tournament because with 2 other guys he had brought that he could beat because it was 1 for 3 payout. So if you're going to bring somebody else, make sure you beat those guys. You got a chance to cash. I could have
Sound
paid.
logic.
I could have paid for 2 more teams. The joke with that, too, was Kurt Hankey, he came from Eau Claire. He said, I always wondered why Brian wanted me to go with him.
We finally got to lofting.
Uh-oh.
Josh is lofting. Josh Kennedy's lofting it now. Interesting. I mean, it kind of makes sense. He would be the first one to start lofting, but
What I've noticed about Josh in the last couple of times, he bowled the trios also,
yeah.
how slow and deliberate he is on the approach now. It's good to be deliberate, but I think he's a little bit too slow. Well, for my liking, because I like to keep everything moving.
Right.
And it's hard to knock his success because he just won his first CBA last month at Sunray.
Which, I think you guys asked me the question, or someone asked me the question, who who the best bowler that bowls CBAs is that hasn't won a title. That's a tough question.
Well, glad you brought that up. We are going to start Painful Questions, which is ask Matt Payne a tough question. So if you have any thoughts of a tough question, a painful question, bring them up. Okay.
After the first game of the seeding round.
Wow.
So the top 3 get a bye to the ladder, correct?
The top 3 will get a bye right to the ladder. That is correct.
And then 4, 5, and 6 gets a bye.
one round
bye
for the next match. Yep.
And so 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 must bowl elimination.
Correct.
Bowl for eliminating. yeah, Clark. Yeah, Clark's got 2 byes. Bye-bye. So, after Game 9, we talked about Jace Goedel having 232. Jumps all the way up into first. Chad Nelson with 183 is second. Josh Kennedy at 251 to jump into third place. So, deliberately striking, I guess, what he was doing. Aaron Schroeder, who bowled right in front of us, I wasn't paying attention to the score, only had 160. He's fourth, and Zach Andresen, even with that open in the 10th, is fifth. Then Dave Ullman, Caleb Pashina, Scott Endersby, Daniel Kimmer, Zach Mitchell, Rob Clements, and Clark round out the top 12.
With 3 of them being a tie.
Oh, yeah, for 5th.
Andresen, Ullman, and Pashina, all 3 tied.
Okay, wow.
6-7, well, tie for 5th.
Well, so we have rules for that if they tie.
They have to
For
arm
the
wrestle.
ladder, if they tie for 3rd and 4th place, it has to be a 1-game
Yeah,
roll-off
that'd be a roll.
to get into the ladder. So, but if they tie for like 9th and 10th, it's just the higher last game for seeding purposes only.
Yep.
Boy, they're all kind of tight, too.
Yeah.
So there's only 15 there, but then it's like single digits afterwards. Well, yeah. Well, 11 after that. Then
Well,
it goes
yeah, 15, 11, 6, and then about 20. Not quite 15, 17, yeah.
Clark knows he's going to be 12, so he's going through a bunch of bowling balls probably to see what he can figure out for the match. Dave Ullman jumped up to 6th after 1 game. I believe he shot 230, 223 and stayed 6th.
You're tied for 5th.
But you're tied for 5th.
I just watched Clark's ball reaction, and I saw that all day long.
So did I. I was going to say
the
that.
ball rolled red and then just went dead straight.
Dead straight to the right.
Yep. I don't know how a ball that starts the hook and then backs off. I don't know how that works, but
Oh,
I
did
was the
that.
winner of that ball reaction.
Well, I
for-
might have been right there with you. I was surprised it hooked to pick up the back pin. So we got Jace Goedel and Zach Andresen were bowling over on 21 and 22.
Throwing a bunch of strikes.
They really are. So they're not necessarily bowling against each other. They just want to both have high scores.
Right.
Where is Jace from? Do you know?
That's
Where
a
is
really good
Jace
question.
from? Jace Goedel, where is he from?
I think he's Northern Metro. I think, but I could be wrong. But he is going to school in Iowa, I think.
Okay.
Does a lot of bowling in Waterloo, in Waterloo.
Okay. Like I mentioned, he's been really good. We really don't have a most improved bowler. We never really had that. We have rookie of the year, of course, so we have guys who make the or make the all-star teams. But
Is
we
he
don't
considered
really.
a rookie?
No,
I didn't
he
think
was
so.
not. I went through all that last year to figure out the rookie of the year, and
Because if
now
he was, he would
now
be.
that you mentioned it, I got to double check. So I'm not going to say who I put in there because I had to verify that again. I thought I double and triple checked who they would be.
But I don't know that he bowled the last year, right? So I could be wrong. I don't remember everybody that bowls, and I get surprised when I went look at the old
You're the
videos.
president. You're
Yeah, I know.
supposed to.
I'm supposed to. I'm for the people, but I don't know the people.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
By the way, Jason, being that I'm not going to be at the year-end tournament,
There's
I mean
my
at the
Hall of Fame.
doubles and Hall of Fame banquet, Matt and I decided you're going to live stream his speech at 6 o'clock because it'll be 1 o'clock in the morning in Prague, and then I'm going to have to watch it and I can give a couple tidbits.
I can do this.
Okay. We'll be talking.
Yep, we'll get her figured out. It's going to be more of a phone live stream instead of this setup, but we'll get her done.
Yeah, just the phone. Just your phone,
Yep.
whatever. And what I did, I'll give it to you before the day's over, but I made a bunch of notes for you so that you have things to talk about. Because I usually, add a few things,
Well, you tend to elaborate.
I elaborate a little bit, yeah, exactly. So I'm looking at the stats here again. I want to verify who I thought was the rookie. And before I say who
you thought was the rookie.
before I want to be right on that, whatever. So did Jace Goedel bowl
I don't know.
much last
See
year?
him this year, and that's why it popped up. But it could be that he just bowled this year, not the last CBA year.
Yeah, I'll have to check into that. And I might have forgot to put that in my book here.
Problem is,
Where
I
are
don't
the
remember
points?
who the rookies are. So
Well,
once again, I'm for the people, and I don't know the people.
Josh Kennedy is a former Rookie of the Year,
Sure, so am I.
and so is Matt Payne. A good point, yeah. We were trying to come up with a name for the Rookie of the Year.
I'm a former rookie. There was the 1 year that it was my first year.
Perfect.
And,
I
Just like it's not a
almost
spare ball; it's just your second ball.
yeah, it's second ball.
I almost won Rookie of the Year back in the 1984-85 season, but I missed out.
You didn't.
I was close. I mean, I was
could have
close.
won, but I didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
I missed out.
Yeah. But I'm saying I was in the
It was
running.
a lottery.
Right.
I was this close, but I missed out.
Yeah.
They drew the number ahead of me,
Yeah.
just not mine.
Okay, so Jace Goedel was not in. Yeah.
All right.
So the Rookie of the Year is a bowler who only bowled 2 tournaments. He was 4th on his first one and 2nd on his second one. And he's from Eau Claire. Trey Hendricksmeyer is the CBA Rookie of the Year last year. I'm going to go over
Not a bad pick.
the Bowler of the Year and all that. So last year,
No,
Brady
man, he won't
Stearns.
even be there because he's bowling in Wichita.
Correct, yeah. Brady Stearns was the Bowler of the Year last year. Will Matafee was 2nd, Chad Nelson 3rd, Matt Payne was 4th, and Nick Heilman 5th. So those were the first team All-Stars. Second team All-Stars with David Langer, Josh Kennedy. Then Thomas Cleveland made this All-Star team for the first time. William Jones made the All-Star team for the first time. And Eric Schott for like this 4th or 5th time.
Got there.
He got there.
With not a ton of events, that's good. He didn't have a ton. How many tournaments did he have?
Eric had 8 tournaments.
Oh, that's quite a few, I guess.
Yeah, for him.
Yeah.
By the way, you had a name in there, Thomas Cleveland. That's one of my choices for
Yes.
not having a title.
Yeah, you missed it, Jason. We were just talking. We're going to come up with the painful questions, where we're going to be asking Matt Payne. And one of them is, who's the best bowler that hasn't won a CBA tournament? And who is it going to be? And I agree with the Thomas Cleveland.
Yeah, that's a good
and we
pick.
all had talked about Josh Kennedy, and then he won last month.
Right, yeah, and he screwed me because I was going to
Exactly,
use him.
right, yeah.
And then he had to go and win. Hardest spare the lane right now.
Well,
Anything to
especially-
do with the 3, 6, 9, 10, any of that over there. Either it hooks or it just goes that way and you miss some part of it.
Seems to get to be that way in these events with these patterns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the right side multi-pin spare
Are brutal.
combinations are not easy.
Wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy.
You can tell the young kids here, they run shots out and things
Yeah.
like that.
You got to conserve energy for us old folks.
Exactly. And that was what I'm talking about is Zach Andresen, who went 4 baggers, fair spare, turkey, and he kind of ran the last one out. So he's gunning for that number 1 seed.
Well, he's definitely doing the right thing to get there. That's
Now
for
that
sure.
he is. And by the way, he won here
Yeah, he
a
did.
couple years ago.
That he did.
And that's in the factoid thing too. That when I bowled against him in the match play in a step ladder, we have the distinction of having the biggest age difference between two people bowling in a stepladder match.
That'll happen.
It was like 49 years, 8 months, something like that. I'm older than him. And he beat me by like 49 pins, so that wasn't even right. Whatever. Oh, I didn't know that. Who's that? In a stepladder? In a stepladder?
In this format.
Not the stepladder.
No.
Okay. That's different. Clark's telling me that he bowled a 17-year-old and he's 71, so they just flip-flop their numbers around, whatever. But so that's probably the biggest age group of somebody bowling a match.
Yeah.
What I was talking about was a stepladder match, not just a match. But I need to have that factoid in there, so I'm going to figure that out. We need to know the exact dates. Not in a stepladder. I know. I figured it all out. I thought I was right. He's questioning my. I got these factoids that I think about these for a long time, and so. But I will come up with one, which it'll be another factoid where the biggest age difference with two people bowling in a match play, not stepladder, but just in a match play. And Clark was 71, and he says he's a 17-year-old. I didn't even know his name, so I'll have to look back on the. I could probably figure that out because I have all the results of last year's tournaments in this CBA recap booklet that I have. And September. Who was
Phase alert.
Yeah, everybody advert your eyes. There's a phase of phase. The original
The
phase
original
going
phase.
The
down the
original
lane.
phase just went down the lane and struck on 18
That's the third time that ball's ever struck.
for anyone in the country.
Yep.
Yes.
how old is Cody Adams?
Freshman in college.
Last year he would have been 17.
Last year he would have been 17. Yes.
Okay, so that's who Clark bowled in a match play last year when he was 71 and Cody Adams was 17. So he's got the distinction of the biggest age difference of bowling somebody in a match.
Huh.
A match play. Where I was just talking about when I bowled Zach Andresen in a stepladder match, we have the
That's one of the
distinction
stepladder.
of 49 years and something like that. So
And
another
Plus
factoid.
they're just transposed numbers, 71 and 17.
Exactly.
right.
Like it was meant to be.
Here's a funny story about that.
Uh-oh.
6 years ago, I'm in Africa, and with my lovely girlfriend, fiance Verna, and we were out in a hotel, and it was somebody's birthday, and they had the balloons, whatever, the numbers, and it was she was 17. She was taking a picture with his big balloon, 1 and a 7. So I had to get them from her because Verna was going to be 71. So I had to take the same thing. We took pictures. Yeah. So I got a good picture somehow.
I don't know that you know this, but some of your pairs are really, really good, and some of your pairs are not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you can just see it. The good ones versus the not good ones. I mean, the two down there are pretty good bowlers, but I think they're all pretty good bowlers. But
202 is what Jace Goedel had.
yeah, he
So-
kind of stumbled into the finish line there.
He
but-
really did.
He
And,
did.
and
But he
Zach,
shot 200. You're looking over here, and there's a couple games here that aren't going to get to.
That.
Yeah.
got a good point. So here's what I'm thinking right now. Zach Andresen, he strikes here. He's in the 260s.
That's
He's
a
going to
helpful
jump
game.
into first.
You're not done yet. No.
Josh Kennedy can still have 240.
You're just in 12th. Now you have another game to bowl. It goes into a bracket. You whittle yourself down to the.
Change pairs ever as it gets in, and I'm jump in a little bit.
Chad at 193.
Oh, okay,
he was in
right.
second place going to that one, so he might
We should
stay
be
up
on
there.
it, right? Do we have? Can we stay on this view?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, just leave it here.
As long as you have comments.
I do have
up
comments
so
right
you can
there.
see, then yeah, you can. But yeah, then you can go from if you want.
Who's the mean guy that let me make it?
William
Me.
Jones.
It was, yeah. William
There's
Jones.
four of us right behind you that
Yeah.
didn't bowl good enough to bounce you out. Or you bowled
267
too
for
good.
Zach Andresen. That jumps him up. He
I
was, let's see, he was 85 over. Now he's 140 some. Jace Goedel is 130, so he passed him by another 10. So it looks like it's going to be Zach, Jace, and possibly Josh Kennedy, your 1, 2, 3 seeds. And I believe Josh Kennedy needs this strike to take over the number 1 seed. Because Josh Kennedy, I believe, because
245.
he was 22 pins ahead of Zach. Oh, they could tie for the number 1 seed if he strikes out.
Indian leg wrestle. What?
He can tie.
He can tie
strike
you for
out to
punches.
tie you for the number 1 seed. It'd be a 1-game roll-off to get to decide who's first and second. He has to have them both. He needs them both.
That was a really good shot.
I'm pretty sure. If my math is right.
We're doing on-the-fly math. Yeah, if you would have struck in the fill ball. We won't talk about the spare you missed. Right, we can go all the way through the whole 8 games.
Yeah, it's always funny
9.
when you miss something, 1 or 2 pins. We've all done that. And they'll go, oh, if I just struck on that last ball. Yeah, but the whiff 10 pin here and there, and
Right.
the 6 count on the spare, we didn't try in the 11th frame, stuff like that.
Yeah.
All pins count all the time, by the way. Let's see what you'll see right next to that split where Clark just threw. We got Josh Kennedy. I think he needs this strike to tie for first
Go over there.
going
Here we go.
into the step ladder. Lofts it out there. And a solid 10. I believe that's just 1 pin difference. We'll let the crack staff figure that out, but in my math, I think I'm right. You get a bye. 4, 5, and 6 get a bye. 1, 2, 3 are seated in the step ladder already. 4, 5, and 6 get a bye. And 7 through 12 bowl matches, basically. I'm thinking I got to look at the format, but I believe so. 7 through 12, all 6 of them bowling at one time. I got to. It's a kind of eliminator. Eliminate. I'm not sure what we do again. This is a new
I believe
format.
it's all. Yeah.
We need Jason. He's got the sheet.
Yeah, he's crunching numbers back there.
Exactly. Yeah. So we talked about it. We tried to do something different, and this is definitely different.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't remember what we did, but I'm making notes so they know all the time for next year.
Sit there. That was a great shot.
Ooh.
It's a,
Scott Endersby wants to stay up to 2, whatever. So he was 48 over. He can have 230, or no, yeah, 230. Gets him about almost 80. What did Davey Ullman has a 6-bagger?
he can go 223.
223, and he was 6 going in.
He's on the left side of the screen.
He's going to
here.
be 4, 5, and 6 anyway, but he definitely needed that second one attempt to guarantee to be in there. Sounds like Chad Nelson will
boy,
be in
Pew.
there.
Oh, he didn't like it. And that,
No.
And that rolled well.
I wish I could not like it that good.
Right.
So we will have a little bit of a break after we figure some scores right after this. Davey Ullman did strike out for the last 7-bagger there. Clark, you'd have to bowl another game. We don't know where or against who yet, so hold on.
Not quite.
I'm not sure where. We could bowl in the parking lot and have the same score.
Right.
I would right now. That's why I said it would not be No, we're at 1 mile an hour short of what I need. Yeah, strip sack. I don't know. I have him in fantasy.
I say me, Aaron, and Dave. He wasn't at CBA.
223, Davey Ullman?
I don't know. I lost more.
223.
Maybe 225. That's my half.
Yeah, you have a little bit more there. So I just need. What did Chad have that game? 193.
Yeah, I'm the 93 and Aaron's all three. That's my guess. Me and him and Dave are the one.
And 226 of what Scott Endersby had. And what did Kayla Pashina have? Kayla, what'd you have?
191.
191. All right, the way I got it figured out here, it's going to be Zach Andresen at 21.52 and Josh Kennedy at 21.51. And then Jace Goedel at 21.35 will be your top three. They're seated into the stepladder. 4, 5, and 6 are probably going to be Chad Nelson, Davey Ullman, and I believe Kayla. Nope, sorry about that. Aaron Schroeder. Oh, no, you didn't quite. But, that's my Edison High School Northeast Minneapolis math. We'll see how good that was. Speaking of math today,
By far.
I gotta tell the story. I'm not gonna tell who did it, whatever. But somebody's keeping score, and a guy shoots 300, and so somebody's adding the score up, and he had to use his calculator to add from one to the next. And I'm going, really? You had to use a calculator to add 300 to that? I am not going to tell you who the guy is, but he's standing next to me. If you're around here or whatever, you can see who he is.
It ain't me.
It is not Matt Payne. I told him I needed something to say on the live stream, so I had to give him crap for it.
Yeah, and I wasn't the one on the pair that screwed up the math.
If you heard that voice, you'll know who it was who did that. But we could shut these the mics off for a little bit while they're doing all. We got them already.
We're going to
so.
check the Northeast math.
And pretty close. So Zach Andresen leading after 10 games of qualifying at 152. Actually, it would be 152 over. Josh Kennedy 151 over. We had that right. And Jace Goedel 135 over. Chad Nelson 111, Dave Ullman 108, and Aaron Schroeder 104. Those guys are 4, 5, and 6. They'll be getting a bye.
Yep, so then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so those
Kayla
six will
Pashina
play
at 76, Scott Ensby 74, Daniel Kimmer at 26, Zach Mitchell even after all these games. He's just even. And then there's Rob Clements and then Clark. I'm not going to. How come the older guys are at the bottom?
They're laying in wait.
Why are the young guys at the top
Snake
and
in
the older
grass.
guys at the bottom?
Snake in the grass. So I think how this works, when Clark Bowl, Aaron, Rob Bowl, Kayla.
No, Aaron's in the. He
Then
did
it
the
goes
bye.
Clark and Kayla.
Well, I'm not 100% sure if we don't do just a elimination thing. It is a
Matchplay. Yeah.
I don't remember.
So then it's Clark and
Clark and Kayla, and then it'd be
Scott and Rob, Zach and Daniel.
yeah. As soon as Jason says that, I don't really know, Clark. It's a new format. We'll have to figure this out. We need to know what's going on. I forgot the format. What's going on now?
What's that? Oh, it's into the bracket.
Okay, so it is.
we were right.
It is a match.
Into the seeded bracket.
I'm so right.
Losers are out.
Okay,
Winners
so
advance, and the next ones get a seed. I'm going to get on the microphone.
oh, you said in the microphone. It's even better yet.
Tom,
Non-winners,
what do I call
My
it?
feelings.
losers,
Losers bracket.
losers brackets.
I am not from the you get a participation award.
The people that suck bracket.
Non-winners. There's only one winner anyway.
Well, that's right.
The rest are. Second is the first loser. Isn't that what they say? But
what they
in
say.
this day and age, though, you have to be the first non-winner. No, I'm not going that way. Oh, I've been that a lot of times. If the guy doesn't pick his check up, I could get it then.
This next round, and so 23 and 24 is a practice pair if you want to stay loose.
Loosey
Shooting
goosey.
267 in his last game, jumping up to the number 1 seed, Zach Andresen at 21.52.
You can hear Jason talking in the background.
Coming in just 1 pin shy of that at 21.51, Josh Kennedy. And then rounding out the top 3 that get the bye straight into the stepladder at 21.35, Jace Goedel.
Yeah.
All right, the next 3 names, seeds 4, 5, 6. You get a 1-round bye. You also can stay loose on 23.
I'm wondering if the people can hear that.
In fourth place,
Yeah, I'm not sure.
2111, Chad Nelson. Fifth at 2108.
Pretty much said the right
Dave
thing anyway.
Bowman.
Yeah.
And sixth at 2104, Aaron Schrader.
Schrader.
All right. That brings us to the matches. So our number 7 seed will be bowling our number 12 seed on 13 and 14. That is Kayla Pashina versus Clark Polzer. Our 8th seed will be bowling the 11 seed on 19 and 20. That is Scott Endersby versus Rob Clemens. And our 9 seed versus the 10 seed is on 9 and 10. That is Daniel Kimmer versus Zach Mitchell. Everybody is going to get 2 shots on each lane. And the higher seed, which is Kayla, Scott, and Daniel, will get the choice of starting and finishing the match first. The 3 people that lose are eliminated from the tournament. And will
The 3
be
people that
placed
don't
in
win.
10th, 11th, and 12th
He just said the 3 people that lose,
That don't
that
Win.
don't win.
that have a lower score than the other guy or gal.
Right? Oh yeah, we have to say that. Or you could just say the bowler.
The bowler with the lowest score.
You don't have to say male or female or anything like that. Just the bowler.
Fair enough.
Everyone seems confused. I was on fire.
2 shots on each, like we do this a break. This was like a position round or a match. So I'm having in my notes here after 10 games, top 3 are seated in the stepladder, and 4, 5, and 6 receive a bye. Then after this round, the winners move on and they bowl against the 4, 5, and 6.
Switch to 13, 14. That
Oh,
would be
yeah.
the only match.
Sorry, we were watching the sky. I found out to turn the text off. You had text scrolling by.
Oh, wasn't it? Oh, on some of the pairs, yeah.
Yeah.
I had only turned it off the one. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Way to figure it out.
Well, you know, if you're an IT guy, it should be easy.
It was.
It is a pretty user-friendly program for the most part.
28-22.
They threw a touchdown. We got the ball on the kickoff. And then Darwin got strip sacked, and then they got on the 2-yard line, scored, and then they must have went for 2 and got it for some reason.
The Vikings was up at 28-22 already, and it was
Yeah.
28-0 at one point.
So the the match we're going to be able to see here is going to be the Kayla, which is the 7 seed, and the Clark, it's the 12 seed. We'll keep you.
We'll keep you
as
abreast
good.
of what's going
Yeah.
on.
We'll do our best. There's a couple, or at least one match is way down there at 9 and 10. Kind of hard to see their scoreboard, but
I can see the scoreboard.
I can only see.
Because I'm not as tall as you, I can look underneath that thing that's in the way there.
Fair enough.
Doesn't mean I can read the numbers on the scoreboard. I can see the scoreboard way over there.
He can tell they're on.
Yeah. That's a nice pair. There was a 288 and a 300 on that pair. 288
Yeah.
by William Jones. And then Rod Clemens had the 300 on that pair.
9 and 10's your best pair in the house, huh?
No. Nope. It
Yet
sure
there was a
isn't.
288 and a 300 on it.
Yeah.
What is the best pair in this house? 15 and 16?
It would depend on who you're talking to.
How about Nick Hogan?
He's going to like anything 9 through.
Yeah.
Honestly, he likes everything 9, anything on the upper side.
Yeah.
He's done well all across these 6.
That he has bowling
Yeah.
in your tournament here. Speaking of your tournament, the Kegel,
Yep.
what are the weekends?
Every weekend, November, December, and January.
Okay.
3
No
months.
blackout dates. Yep. Every
We,
weekend.
we will be making some reservations for that. I don't know what time yet, but our Laker team will be bowling that tournament.
Fantastic.
So will we.
I love it.
The Southway Bowl team should probably be at the Southway Bowl tournament.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the Southway Bowl team should be. Along with the Locker Guy team will bowl, and along with, I don't even know the names of all the teams anymore. Brunswick, Deviate, whoever they are.
Yeah.
And then, not whoever they are, but I mean, whatever. I know they are, but like whatever they call themselves nowadays.
Right.
And then, because isn't it Melrose Bowl,
Yes.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
They have different names there.
Well, yeah, like at Nationals, they were like the house hacks or something. There was something.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Clark Polzer's team is Mixed Bag, which makes no sense to
Kinda,
me.
well-
I mean, it makes sense when he does it, but
Right.
but you don't know who's on that team because
Right.
their name has always been different, and what is it?
Right.
Oh, imagine a 2-8. You throw your spare ball at this 2-8, or would you try to hook at it?
I would hook at it. If I throw, I mean,
You throw it from the right with your strike ball. What are you
Yeah.
trying to say?
yeah.
So it's bracketed. It doesn't go by seed. I'm going to get the winner of Scott and Rob.
Correct,
Correct.
you are.
Okay.
We don't reseed. No reseeding here.
No, I just did that to my yard. Did the
Most golf courses too.
aerating and the reseeding, and I didn't do it. I had somebody do it. It needed it. Big time needed it.
May you clear the scores on 9 and 10? Thank you.
All right. Well, 9 and 10 will be the last one to finish, I think. Wow, I take that back. Clark's ball. So it's very.
Well, if Clark has a good game, he'll go faster.
Well, there's that. Less shots.
I would say Rob Clements and Scott Endersby will be done first.
Yeah. Ready bowling.
That's my biggest thing. I don't care how much time people take on the approach, that they do whatever they're, but just be up there ready to go when it's your turn. And that's where we don't use it, but the double jump rule in the PBA format, where it's your turn to bowl, you're up there to bowl on your turn.
Right.
And everybody gets done at the same time. It's a little slow, I think, but everybody does get done at the same time.
Right. And I would try to do the double jump, but we already have enough trouble with people trying to figure out which lanes they go to after
Exactly.
they're done. So,
Right. And we just have the one lane courtesy rule.
Right.
And it's kind of a lane and a half, so to speak, or you might get up at the same time. The other guy's up there first and goes, but
that's what I did.
Scotty.
Yeah.
they didn't hook enough for me to miss a 10-pin on the left. It's not like a good strike by Clark.
Different color ball. He was using a gold one.
Well, he brought like 15 of them. He might as well go through a bunch.
If you bring it, you might as well throw it.
Yeah.
You know what the pairs are? I don't want to interrupt.
We don't have the next round pair.
Not yet.
Yeah, solid strike by Rob Clements over on 20. Take advantage of the miss by Scott Endersby. So this is if you lose, you're out. So this one now you want to win.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
The other one was more for seeding.
You always want to win.
Well,
right?
good point. But the other one you
But
go
I
with.
understand.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to lose, so you want to win.
All of them?
Oh, that
Boy, was
3,
that easy to
6,
do.
10.
That's what you just don't
That is a tough spare. Anything 3-6, the 3-6, 9, 10 obviously to me is the toughest spare of anything out there, no matter if they're hooking or not hooking.
Yeah.
But just a 3-6, 10 going across lane, you can chop it, you can slide by, you can put the 3 around the 6 and get the 10. There's a lot of
Right.
ways to miss it. Watching Kayla, the ball is like barely turned over, but it goes down like 58 feet.
Right. Yep.
And then just enough. So if you just keep it on line with a good roll, you should be around the pocket.
Right.
Striking is kind of hard to do. So we only got the camera on 13 and 14, so we'll have to keep telling you what's going on.
Yeah. Well, I'm guessing after this match we'll get at least something a little.
Yes, we will.
And then, of course, the step ladder. We'll get it all.
We'll get it all. We'll be back and forth, probably 15, 16, 17, 18, I'm assuming. Do you use the spare ball for like 4 pins, 7 pins, and such
Yes, I do.
all the time, no matter where,
Yep.
when, house shots, league
Yep.
play?
I mean, give or take, depending on what's going on as far as house pattern, I may hook at it, but for the most part, I try to stay the same.
I
throughout
do
the whole
also, but
If I'm frustrated, I may pick up what I just threw and hook at it.
yeah. I think a lot of people, we use spare balls for right side spares, and we'll just hook at it like 2 pins, 4 pins, 7 pins, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think you got to do whatever you do. You got to do the same thing all the time. You can't
Right.
just think back and
Correct.
forth, or whatever. So. And then what kind of system you have? Like you stand in a certain spot, move a couple boards either way for 4s,
Yep.
7s, or 2. Or,
Yeah, I kind of move off of
Yeah.
where I'm standing for striking, and then give or take because if it's a short pattern, I know it's going to hook in the middle part of the lane, so I got to figure out how I can get it to not hook.
not hook, even if it is a spare
To throw it a
ball,
corner,
yeah.
on either corner.
Well, that's true, right?
And I have my spare ball has a core in it, like a big core in it. I got a spare plus, so there's times where I actually have to play like a couple boards of hook with it to
Okay.
the left side, or
Yeah.
hell, even to the right corners. Every once in a while I'll have to do it because it will hook.
Yeah, I could not use a ball that's just going to be really straight. I need a ball to pick up
Yeah.
a roll. Even.
Yep.
So I actually kind of put a little surface on my spare ball at one point, just so I know it wouldn't skid all the way down. And I should have done it today. I didn't. And obviously once we started bowling, I couldn't do it. I should have done it in
Right.
practice because it just kept skidding out. And like I said, I missed 2 10 pins by little and missed 6-10 twice. Now, granted, I wasn't sharp, and I missed at the arrows. Yeah, Rob Clemens carried out the 8-10, but that's
8-10.
that 16-pound bowling ball, whatever it is. So. Did you know that Rob Clemens is a Green Bay Packer fan?
I may not have known that, but it doesn't surprise me.
Well, he's from Wisconsin,
Yeah.
so I understand, kind of. He doesn't live there anymore. The Vikings were up 28-0, and now it's 31-22 with about 4 minutes left to go. Their defense, I'm not sure. I haven't been paying attention to the game.
I
I'm not
haven't
sure what's
either.
going on. I don't care as much. I should care more now that my Twins are done, or they were done in early September. But
Yeah,
but
the stumble in the home stretch
oh,
was.
that was the biggest collapse almost next to Gene Mauch and his 64 Phillies. Well, that was for the pennant. This is just to get to the wild card.
Right.
And I'm disappointed. I got a Yahoo Sports thing that the Twins are not firing Rocco Baldelli.
Oh.
They're keeping up. And I'm going, really?
Yeah. There
He,
was.
he led the collapse. I think the players quit playing for him.
Yeah. Well, there was that one pitching performance where they pulled the pitcher with. He didn't even
Bailey
have
over.
90 pitches. Yeah. Didn't even have 90
had-
pitches,
he-
and he just
He
sat
had
down
83 pitches
Yeah.
through 7 innings, and he had retired 15 in a row and nothing under duress. 1 walk, 1 hit.
Yep.
And then they pull
pulled
him. And then they bring in Duran for the 8th. And
Yeah.
I know this, so you think everybody on the Twins would know this, that when Duran is pitching, not a safe situation, his ERA is over 5.
Yeah.
Safe situation, it's under 2. So you bring in a guy who doesn't seem to focus, whatever the reason is, in the 8th inning, lets up 3 or 4 runs, a couple hits, whatever, and then they end up
Yeah.
losing that game.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's enough Twins talk.
Yeah.
No, I can keep talking about it. I can be bitching. Yeah, okay.
I think, well, and they can't rely on analytics all the time either.
No, but they do. And I went to the game Friday night and last night. And after Friday night's game, I'm listening to WCCO on the way home, and Dan Gladden's on the post games.
Okay.
And he was talking about that lefty righty analytical stuff, whatever. He just can't do that. He goes, then they had a left-handed pitcher, and so Rocco floods his lineup with all right-handers. And he said, and he goes, no disrespect for Manny Margot. He says, but he's only going to be here this year. And you got Trevor Larnach, who's a lefty, but he's going to be here for 3 to 5 years. And he's the guy you build on. You got to get him into the game. And lefty on lefty, he's got to learn sometime. What are they
Right.
trying to do? And then he was talking about, it was, I think, was it 3-2 or whatever at one point, and then they bring in Pablo had like 111 pitches, and they wouldn't even let him pitch to one more guy in the sixth
Right.
inning. Brought in Thielbar, which struggled all year, and then they bring a guy in, Mark Funderburk, or whatever his name, Cody Funderburk,
Oh, yeah.
who hadn't pitched in 62 days, and a time where you needed him to pitch, he lets up 4 runs, the game's over, and they're out.
Right.
And so Gladden didn't have a lot of good stuff to say about the Twins' management, and but he's got to bite his tongue in a way, even though he's not employed by the Twins.
Yeah.
He's employed by WCCO Radio. But it's good to hear him not agree with all the stuff that they've been doing. And of course, it's easy to second guess after it's over. We all
Right.
would have done something different.
Everybody has 20/20 vision
Yes.
afterwards. Well, let's see what we got going on. We're about halfway through on every match. Well, a little over halfway through on every match at this point. I take that back. 9 and 10's at frame 5.
Well, what's going on? So Scott Endersby picked up a spare after a double. He's got
got a pin
115 in the 6th to 114 over Rob Clemens.
Yeah.
Clark Polzer, Bolovitz, Kayla. Heck, those two we could just call them by their first name, Clark and Kayla.
Right.
Because so what is Clark's up and left? He's at 129 in the 6th. Kayla's got 135 in the 6th. So
He's got to
Kayla's
strike
by
up,
6.
though.
Clark's got the strike up on his favorite lane. I don't know if it's favorite or not, but he's got a couple of strikes on
It's
it.
got to get down there.
He didn't like it. Even
I
Scott,
don't want to call it a dead 10 that Scott just did there, but it was kind of a dead 10.
I was just going to say, somebody told me years ago, all that ball, still only 9. Yeah, it's funny how lane conditions can make somebody cry in the background.
Right. Oh, yeah.
You heard that back there, but how lane conditions can really even out the bowling ball. The stronger, obviously guys who have stronger balls are still better.
Yeah.
The stronger you throw it, but still, he throws that ball as good as anybody for a dead 10.
Right.
Be- Look at it, Rob Clements is almost in front of the ball return on the right lane.
If you would have told me Rob would get in front of the ball return, I would have called you a liar.
Wow, it took the 3.5 or 2.5 steps, whatever, and caught too much of it.
Yeah.
Little does he know that he's not even in the camera range. We just saw him walk by. Well, Rob should pick this up unless he chops it. But he's down 2 pins. So pin count, that's 6-3 after a double, man. That 6 count really hurt after a double.
Yeah,
You lose a lot of pins.
There you go.
Kayla for a double.
Now she's pretty much in control of this at this
That
point.
she is. Clark saying, yeah, just keep striking. I don't want to bowl anymore. But Clark says that, but yet he's still trying.
Oh, yeah.
He likes to lull people to sleep.
In multiple ways.
Yes, right, yeah. Stand up there, talk to somebody else, take your time. I think he wants to get done fast because he's up there right away. What?
That's a dead 10.
Yes. Solid strike by Rob, and the foundation frame there to give him a chance to possibly win that game. Clark's going to, he's on a decent game, but he's behind. And what about the Daniel Kimmer and Zach Mitchell? It's kind of hard to tell. But
It is. They're both
pretty
clean. They're both
Looks
clean.
pretty even in about 7th frame, 6th frame.
Daniel Kimmer doesn't have a strike. Oh, no, he does. He started with a strike. He hasn't struck since. I talked him into a strike.
Yeah, you told him how easy it is.
125 with a strike.
Scott Endersby.
So there's a pin difference down there. It's 125 with a strike up and 126 with a
Okay,
strike up.
all right.
125 is Daniel Kimmer. 126 is Mitchell. Zachary.
Got one CBA title. He won in November last year for his
That is
first
correct.
one. Scott Endersby struck in the all-important 9th frame, so
2-pin match there.
Yes.
We got a couple nail biters.
we really do. Clark here, after the dead 10, then a 4-pin. That's typical.
Yeah.
Oh, then
He liked it.
He did, the 4-pin. So you can't quite see, but way off to the right, that's the 4-pin. That was Scott Endersby with the first ball in the 10th. So he can go 194 with spare strike. And Rob needs the first strike
He
then
does
to win.
need the first.
Of course, it all depends on if he picks this up and gets 7 or more,
Yeah.
or 8 or more.
Got the spare.
Well, Clark's going to end up with 207.
A clean 207.
And barring a 5-count open, Kayla should win. $205 for Clark Polzer. Nice tournament, Clark. Started out the match play or the round in 12th and then stayed in 12th.
Zachary down there just stuffed an 8-pin.
Oh. You know, everybody's going to leave. I didn't see too many of those today.
No.
But a lot of times you'll see those, and everybody leaves stuff. It's just a matter of when it really hurts. Like if you got a double or turkey and you leave one, and
Right.
that hurts. But if you leave one on a spare, oh well, you know, everybody's going to leave stuff. All right, here's Rob Clements. So Scott Endersby did strike for 194. Rob needs a strike to win.
front of
And
the ball
Zach
return.
missed that 8-pin, which that's really uncalled for down there. And Kayla didn't need the spare, whatever, but 211 to 205, she wins. And Rob did 3.5 step, 4th, 5th arrow with the Zen,
You got it.
and a 16-pound bowling ball knocked them all over.
Wow.
Like you said, when would he ever be? And he must have practiced it because he's up in front of the ball return taking his 3.5 steps or 2.5, whatever it is. He's okay doing it.
Right.
So I can't believe he just did it for the first time today. Maybe he practiced in his basement. Although he does bowl in the Sport League at Country Club on
Right,
Monday nights,
yeah.
so I'm pretty sure they see a lot of different patterns. But it is the league, so they kind of get set up,
Right,
depending on who you're bowling
yeah.
with on the pair. Oh, good thing he didn't throw it as good
Right.
the first time. But just enough, 200, 194. And we're just waiting for Kimmer and Mitchell.
I have no idea who's down there. It's not like
Oh, I got a motive bowling bag. I might as well have a motive chamois. Now we'll see. You know who I think it might be? Tristan Clymer. Might be Tristan Clymer.
Oh, it's
I
possible.
bowled on a pair with him, and you know what I noticed? Because he has this little round motive chamois thing, and he would put it on top of the ball return, not back where the ball bars. He'd always
yep.
set it up there. So it was out of the way. It wasn't on top of somebody else's ball.
Right.
And I always hate it when somebody puts their towel on mine. I'm like Pete Weber on that. Get your towel off my ball.
thankfully you're much nicer.
I am nicer than Pete, but
I think Daniel Kimmer just shut him out.
okay.
I think Kimmer can go to 215 and
204 is
204.
max.
Yep.
Okay. But he
got
needs
the
this
first
one, doesn't he?
9. Well, if he goes 9 spare, doesn't that go 204? So they could tie.
They could tie.
a
Possibility of a
possibility
tie, Matt. Or he could go 8 spare and then
Give
still
him a
be possible
chance.
to tie, but give an easier opportunity. Oh, and he's got the 8 count. So he's going to have 203.
Yep. He can punch out to win by 1.
And Zach Mitchell, and this would be one of those where you throw a really good one, and then you throw another good one, not carry, and he'll go back. Well, if I would have struck there, but if you'd have picked up the 8th pin
Yeah.
earlier, we'll see
Yeah.
what kind of guy he is. I always like to hear how people complain about that, what they say. I mean, if I would have carried about 18 more strikes, I'd be out there bowling, even with the 10 easy opens I had today.
I made the spare. So
Well,
the stage is set. He's got a chance.
But either way, he has to have his first strike, no matter what. He has to have the double.
Right. Well, obviously, he has to have his first one.
Exactly.
Once he gets the first one, he's got to have the second one.
Are you thinking ahead? He'll throw it good because he's a pretty good bowler.
Oh, ran by the head pin with a bucket.
I wonder if he, something get a little jacked up, and yeah, he really did throw it pretty hard.
17.4 is fast. Try 19.
Yeah.
So Daniel Kimmer's going on, moving on to bowl.
So
wherever
then-
that sheet went, that person.
Right, yeah. So Clark will be 12th, and
Clark's bowling Chad. I'm bowling Rob.
Clark lost.
Clark lost. So Kayla.
Clark's 12th. Scott Enderby 11th probably, and Zach Mitchell will be 10th.
Endersby got beat too, so it's.
Yeah. He was 11th. I
Oh,
guess.
you're doing the bottom part of it. I hear you. I understand now. I figured it out. A little slow, but I figured it out.
And those of you who want to know what's going on in the Vikings game, it's 31-22.
With 2 minutes left? 2
2 minutes and 14 seconds left. Vikings got the ball where? And not
They're
a
short.
first down. Yeah.
Turnover on downs? Was that? I don't get it.
I don't either. Did they try? I wasn't paying attention, so obviously it's 1st and 10.
Oh,
for
was
Green.
it turnover on downs?
Oh, it was 4th and 1, and they didn't get it. Oh, it sure looked like you got it there. It was a bad spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they got to give Green Bay a chance somehow. But they got the ball on their own 5-yard line, so they had to go 95 yards.
Yeah.
Then they have to get the extra,
And yeah.
get the 2-point conversion, whatever. So,
Well, even an onside kick because they
Yeah,
can't
good
get
point.
9.
oh, it's 9. Never mind. I thought it was 8. That's
Yep.
my Northeast Minneapolis math. I tell you, isn't it? Speaking of, the onside kick, you see that game yesterday, the Minnesota Gophers against Michigan?
Ah.
And I had, there's a little controversy, I guess, on the, I didn't see the whole thing, but they did an onside kick after the Gophers got within 3, 27-24, did an onside kick, and they recovered.
Yep.
But then
They were called offside.
somebody was offsides, and then another onside kick, and then Michigan got the ball. Now, I didn't see it.
They went for it on 4th and 1.
They didn't need to. They didn't need to. They're up by 9.
What are Chad's numbers? He may have phoned in a friend.
For the Vikings kicker, I hit 4 out of the 5 on the other one. They go for it there. It cost me $110. So he was kicking a 27-yarder.
You need to call in a favor.
Somebody else did.
Right.
Prize picks did.
Oh, 2 practice shots on each lane. We got Rob Clements, Davey Ullman, Chad Nelson, Caleb Pashina, and Aaron Schrader, and Daniel Kimmer.
And we'll be able to see 2 of the matches on this screen right here.
Oh, we will. And this is where the 3 bowlers vie for 2 spots,
yep.
to get the 4th and 5th spot into the step ladder. Whoa. Whoa. Jason almost ate his fork before he got it into his boneless chicken wing. What's a boneless chicken wing anyway? It's just a bunch of chicken shoved together with some breading on it. It's like a meatball.
Good showing.
Well, look at Rob. He's standing way back at the regular spot on the approach.
It's almost like this pair is different than the
Oh,
other.
almost. Yeah. Rob is I don't want to say an odd bowler, even though he is, but he's very methodical and he's very intellectual, thinking about it. He moves around. He knows what every bowling ball does. He knows how they're laid out, and he gets a lot out of his ability, you want to say, because there's nothing fancy about it.
Right.
Very accurate. Very good spare shooter. Always focused. Doesn't just run up there and throw a couple like I did a bunch of times today. Lose focus and.
Henry says hi. Henry Trotwin.
Oh, Henry, where you been, man? I was hoping to see you up here.
Yeah, we're kind of in his neck of the woods too.
Yeah, we are in his neck of the woods. Henry Trotwin, he's a past winner here at Southway Bowl. Yeah, well, he's not here.
Yeah, not here.
Not here.
That's where he is.
That's where he is, not here.
It's a shame.
It is a shame. It's a Travis-sham mockery.
That is one of the best sayings ever. It's a travesty. It's a sham. It's a mockery. However that goes. All right, looks like everybody done with their 2 on each. They got to redo the scores. They fixed it up with the dead. This crack staff here, everybody works there. They're on top of everything. They already got it. Oh yeah.
Up here, that staff on crack.
Didn't want to say anything.
You can say that.
Didn't want to call attention to it.
And then Chad gets a lucky strike.
Yeah, rich keep getting richer.
Yeah, exactly.
You might want to switch to 15 and 16.
Well, this way we catch both of the games.
Oh, is
but-
that what you were doing?
Yeah, because we catch
I
them
got
over
you.
there and
I
them
am
over
so
there.
sorry.
The only problem is that the scores don't. We don't have a score for anybody, but
Oh, I got you.
we can go over it. We can flop back and forth. Here, we'll watch Rob hook the house.
Touchdown, Green Bay. 56 seconds left.
No way.
It's going to be 31-29.
2-point conversion.
No, they don't need it. No. It'll be 31-29, and they'll do an onside kick. And the Vikings went for it 4th and 1 when they had the ball on the 6-yard line and didn't make it. Could have kicked the field goal.
I thought it was 29 after the touchdown. I got it.
Yeah, after they get the extra point.
They went down the field pretty quick.
Well, like my brother says, prevent defense. It prevents you from winning.
That's correct.
No, every team does it. You don't want to let them get a touchdown easily, but they seem to.
Reed. Very nice.
This is an important extra point also. Okay, 31-29, 50-some seconds left. Do the onside kick, and now there are different rules, aren't there, on these?
Yeah, you have
onside?
to announce that you're going to kick an onside kick.
Yeah, and they still have to do 10 yards, and you still can't
Yeah.
go until he kicks it, and things like that, whatever.
Yeah, and you can't kick an onside kick unless you're down and it's under 2 minutes or 5 minutes or
Okay,
something.
all right.
No, excuse me.
I haven't kept track of that so much.
I was wondering how that worked. I was going to try and do it, but I figured I'd screw it all up.
Okay. Solid
But that looked
strike
easy.
by
Bigger
Dave
screen.
Yeoman.
Yeah.
Much bigger screen.
I like it. For you folks at home, because we have a big screen here. We can just watch what's going on live.
Right.
We're right here in Laker locker guy,
Oh,
Southway
heaven.
Bowl death row.
Haven.
Oh, yeah.
Heaven.
Look at
East,
that.
Lanto, Savoy,
I like it.
Shaw, Corbett, Bach, Nelson, Stearns,
Behind the speaker.
Ullman, Langer, then Sylvester, the other Savoy,
Savoy.
Shot, Payne, Manhart.
Wow, all the Hall of Famers
Took
out
you
there.
Good
We're gonna
I
get
took a
it.
photo of that and sent it to the guys. I said, take a look at this
Yes, we
lineup.
will.
And I had shot. Yep, see it Tuesday. Shot, Payne, Manhart. And then I got yelled at because I had a boring green and black one, not the American
Yeah.
flag. But little did they know I'm going to have a red and gold one here very soon.
You should have.
And then
Payne
you get your
shot.
other one.
You should
That's
change
right.
it. You should have been on the other side. Just be Payne shot Manhart.
Then I should have switched to the other Savoyan shot, so it was
Yeah.
Sylvester shot, Savoy shot,
See.
Payne.
So, yeah. There you go. Yeah. Or as Roger Blad, Shacked. He always
Yeah.
called him Terry Shacked. Because you pronounce all the letters in his name.
How did Terry like that?
Knowing Terry, Probably didn't like it. But then he says, it was just Roger.
Just Roger. That's just Roger. Where's Roger? Florida now?
Florida. Yep, he lives down in Florida. Sold a lot of different cars that he had. Wayne Poole lives right close by him, too, so I know he hangs out with Wayne and Gloria once in a while. I haven't seen him for a while. Quite a while I haven't seen him. Well, he moved like 3 years ago. When he moved, he was selling a bunch of stuff, cars and all that, whatever. And then he had this. All of a sudden, I saw on Facebook Marketplace a jukebox. Roger selling a jukebox. At first, I liked it, and then I realized it was Roger, so I called him up. Well, I have that in my basement now. I have a jukebox. Came with 100 CDs in it.
Wow.
But a lot of them are like country and things like that, so I haven't changed them over to my, my
collection?
gold and oldies, CDs, whatever, which I will do sometime here.
Ooh. That hook early.
That was not his fault.
And then it just stayed. I know he tripped a 4, but it certainly didn't go higher crossover, which I expected it to. But he didn't catch all of it.
Missed it at the bottom.
I think he did. Can you miss it at the top?
That'd be tough.
That usually makes a loud thud.
Yep.
Well, like my buddy Scott Sodergren, he was golfing. He says, I kind of came over the top of that one. Well, can you go under the bottom? Just different sayings when you got to think of things to do. So the Vikings must have recovered the onside kick and ended up winning the game.
I had to use your saying today. I was on 7 and 8, and I opened my first 2 frames, and then I had a 6-bagger, and I told I don't remember who I was talking to, but I said the best spare is a strike because I couldn't make those first 2 spares.
Yeah, that's the George Peterson thing. He always said that the best spare in the world is a strike. Speaking of George Peterson, they come up with a new factoid about George Peterson.
All right.
So I was looking through things about who had the most points without winning a CBA title.
Okay.
John Holmes had it.
Right.
And then he won the CBA doubles with John Cryer. Well, now Gary Arntzen is back having the most points now. And then I started looking at who has the most career points with only one CBA title. Well, that's George Peterson. He's got like 1,070 career points, something like that, whatever it is, with one CBA title only.
Wow.
I could go over all the factoids I got here, but I'll let you guys, read them. I'll email you what I have.
Okay.
I was going to email you the Hall of Fame booklet I put together, but I didn't want to do it I wasn't sure if you knew about it until today.
Oh, Little Birdie had told me before that.
Okay.
Will came up to me at Flaherty's and said I was a point away, but I made the cut there, and he goes, well, if you make the next cut, I think you're in. Nice. And,
here's the Hall of Fame booklet. Every Hall of Fame member, the bios, the write-ups, and this is what I wrote for you. So I have all the Hall of Fame, and I used to have it on a CBA website, but that's not there because I had all kinds of viruses and had big issues on that. So I'm working on the CBA website, but I'm going to need somebody to help me do it and then get everything, because I got all this history. This is our 53rd season of the CBA.
Very nice.
And we have now, I can't remember how many Hall of Fame members are there. It's on here somewhere. Quite a few, actually. You can tell by all the banners that are out there, the ones with the red and gold. All the Hall of Fame members. And it looks like Will could have enough points after this season, possibly to get in next year.
Yeah, it's funny. I hadn't bowled a singles event. I bowled the doubles, both versions of the doubles that were run for a while there.
Two of them. We had a Baker
Scotch
and the Scotch doubles.
And I bowled those. I bowled with Chuck, and a couple times I bowled with Billy Pouts. A couple other I matched up with, and Chuck worked me. You gotta bowl these. You just gotta bowl these. And then,
Talking about Charles Hazlett.
Charles Hazlett. And he got me to bowl. My first one was at Flaherty's, and I finished right in the middle of the pack. And he goes, not bad for your first one. And then the second tournament was the next month. I bowled at New Hope. And we were getting together, trying to figure out rides or whatever, because we always rode to where we were going. And he sends me a message and goes, you had released the pattern. And we found, I'm pretty sure it was Boardwalk was the pattern.
Probably at New Hope.
Yep. And which is a shorter pattern.
Yep.
And he goes, congrats on your title. And I said, well, thanks for just jinxing me. I'm probably going to never make it close. And we get there, and I did not start very good, but I went 240 to make match play, and I led. And I didn't even think, I thought, well, at least I got in, and they announced I was leading, and well, then I led match play, and I won it.
Yeah, nice. That was
but that was also, that was Chris Geister made the ladder, too.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if she was the first one to make a ladder for the
not
CBA.
She was not, but
been the first one in a while, I think.
Yeah.
But that was a surprise.
Yeah, right.
I guess. I mean, I still try to do it. I don't look at sheets. I try not to look at
You
them.
look at the score you talk about as you go on, because are you going to try any harder or whatever? You kind of just got to keep bowling. And Johnny's, a teammate of mine for a long time, and CBA Hall of Famer, of course, and one of the best bowlers the state's ever seen. Every tournament, we used to talk about CBA-wise, start out first two games. You just got to try to stay clean, try to do whatever, and try to stay even. If the scores are high, you're not out of it. And, of course, if they're tough, you're not out of it either. But if you look around and somebody next to you got like a 5-bag, oh, God, the score's going to be really high, then you can't really do that.
You talk yourself into something that's not there.
Exactly. Now, saying that, we have a whole different patterns out now.
Yeah.
They're just tougher than they were before. They basically were house shots years ago based on that house had their pattern or whatever it was like. And you all kind of played the same part of the lane, but they were just, everything was just tougher. And then they got to be really, really easy. And we had ungodly high scores and records set and 300 game shot and whatever. We only had 4 300-game shots in CBA competition last year.
Yeah.
And where we used to have, a couple times we'd have 4 in a weekend.
Right.
Which I'm glad it's not that way anymore, because I don't think anybody really wants to see 400 over leading and taking 250 over just to make the cut. I don't think that's the right thing. Sometimes they're too tough, but then there's not too tough for everybody.
Right. It's everybody's bowling on the same stuff. It is all relative, and I would prefer it to be hard. I would prefer shot making and spares to be a thing. Like I don't want to hit a tournament where you can open your first 2 and be okay because you're going to string the next 7.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I mean, me happen to do it down there is a fluke, because normally that's not how it works for me. But grind fests they're fun.
They really are.
Mental games going.
When we started these sport shots, let me tell you, the backlash stuff I got on having these sports shots that people just didn't like, and they would go, why should I bowl that? And average 180, whatever it is, and I can go somewhere where it's easy. And man, I used to get a lot of hell. But we kept at it. We said, well, no, we don't want just these really high scores all the time. That's not what we're all about. And luckily, it went down for quite a while entry-wise. We were hurting. But also there was a point where there weren't a lot of certain age bowlers that were not bowling. People weren't coming out of juniors. The MJBT and stuff, which was still was good then.
Right.
But they bowled on easier shots, and they come out here, they had no chance, because now the MJBT and all these young kids bowl on at least challenge, if not sport patterns, everywhere.
Yeah.
And so they're just groomed to be better, because they just know that's going to be tough all the time. And so they come out here, and they're not 400 under and out of it.
Right.
So, the clock.
Match was over.
I was going to say here, I thought he was trying to get a pin out of the channel, and the ball never got to the channel. But
So Chad wins against Kayla.
Mike Week is your loose line winner.
235.
Forgot to draw that right away. But
Okay.
Mike Week
Mike Week. Now, what does he get?
into November.
So you get the free entry into the November CBA tournament, courtesy of Loose Line Brewery with Brent Newman.
Did you see his message where he wasn't going to come today?
Who's that?
Dave Bone.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does that roll or is he losing?
No, he loses. Okay. Yeah.
I didn't know how to respond to him, so.
So Rob needs to start striking here. He's only down by 21, but he needs to strike to cut that deficit at least by
Get
10.
down the lane. Oh, it got down the lane.
You
I thought I
know,
was done bowling CBAs after my showing today. Now I got to bowl one
now
more.
you got a bowl in November. Well, you should
It's
bring.
free.
You can bring somebody with you and bowl the doubles.
Right now we're talking about bowling doubles.
Yeah. No, it's November for the free entry.
You still might.
Yeah. Okay, well, Rob got that one, toppled it over. That's the same shot he had for his 300, a 12 shot for 300.
I'm going to apologize to him. I told it to get down the lane, and it got
It
way
did.
down the lane.
It did. Yeah. And that one needs
That's
to
pretty
get-
good. Oh,
See, it was half pocket where we're not really
Yeah.
light pocket. Well, it was still light, but not as light as one that he toppled in.
right.
It's still a 21-pin match. What's going on with the...
Oh,
So, let's see. Daniel Kimmer's got 127 in the 6th. Up in the 7th, he's shooting at a 4-pin. And looks like Aaron Schroeder missed a single pin in the 7th. He's got 125 in the 7th. So Daniel's up by 22 pins.
yeah, that was
In
a
that match.
tough spare to miss there.
Yes. Aaron doesn't bowl many CBA tournaments. He's got a very good game, very solid, and led qualifying, led to after 8.
Yep.
He should bowl more. I think he
should.
lets his wife
He
bowl
should.
most of them, but he should bowl them.
Well, she's no slouch. She's pretty
Well,
good.
she's pretty good too. But she bowls more than he does. And I don't know why. If
Right.
they, I don't know if they have any kids at home. I don't think so.
I don't believe so.
So maybe they don't like to bowl together. I don't know. No, I'm kidding on that, by the way. Pretty sure that she's still here watching him.
She is still down
along
there.
with her dad.
I was wondering if she took off.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead, honey. Yeah, good bowl. We'll pick you up later. I'm tired of.
Just let us know.
Yeah. Okay, well, Davey left a 4-pin.
21 up.
Still up by 21, but he just has to. The 206 max for Rob and 207 pace, or no, 217 pace. So he just needs to stay clean and force Rob to double.
Well, yeah, because he goes 9 out. He goes 205, right?
Hey, he needs to spare.
Yeah. Yeah, Henry, if you wouldn't have hit it so good.
Oh, tripping the 4.
And that's it.
Tripping 4s and getting scores
Yeah.
is the saying, by the way.
Yep.
Well, he just needed to mark. Strike's the best mark.
Well, yeah. We had that conversation.
We just did, yeah.
The best spare is a strike.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. George Peterson, I still remember when he said that. And he's the one
Yeah,
also
he's not
told
wrong.
me. No, he's not wrong. He's the one also he told me way back when he needed like a strike. He was like, I have no idea. I have no way. You guys the last ones.
Right.
Whoa, was that a solid crossover?
I don't know what it was, but he was chirping a lot.
He was, exactly. Whatever. So, George Peterson's also the one who told me that when he just, needed 9, just throw the high hard one. I just say throw your best shot, leave a dead 10. He just would throw rockets
Right
in the
at
pocket
the
or
end,
whatever.
yeah.
George we always joke. I'm not sure if George is paying attention so I can talk about him.
Sure.
But when you always wanted to get an extra shadow ball, you bowl in the wrong lane.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So we don't know if that's true, but it always seemed like it. So we should do what the PBA rule is. We don't have that issue here, whatever, but the PBA rule is if you bowl in the wrong lane, and whatever you get, you got to bowl in the other, but the best you can do is 9 spare. So you got to go back and bowl in the correct lane. If you strike, you just get 9 spare. Otherwise, you get what you get there. So you can't better.
Sure.
What you did. So. So we have Davey Ullman and Chad and possibly Daniel Kimmer with a solid strike there.
Hey, where do those 3 bowl? Where do the 3 bowl? 13 and 14.
13-14.
And 17-18 to 15-16, 17-18 to
15-16 will be the step ladder.
And then after 4, move next door?
No. Oh, we're going to skip that.
Okay.
But we always like to finish where we can talk about the Locker Guy banner and the 900s that have been shot. Well, the 900 that was shot.
The 900 on 15 and 16, the best pair in the house.
15,
Talk about how much I don't like that pair, but Brady loves it.
Sure.
All those things.
Yeah, we'll discuss all that stuff. I might have to have a beverage when we get to that point now.
Be rude not to.
Exactly, whatever. So I will. Kimmer's the winner.
Kimmer is the winner.
I'll be right back.
All right, I'll wait for you. Oktoberfest.
What kind is it? Which?
Sam Adams. Yes, it is. Good bowling today. Good bowling.
I actually I didn't know they started opening up. I mean, they just size of the the shape, and I just get it to shape.
Right.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, when it gets to like this,
These are tough. Very tough. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Right. I'm sure. You just can't get it down the lane.
Is that what it is?
Sure.
I think it's 3
I can try the first game, then it's good.
Right. Your thing takes it off the front part of the lane. You're... He's bowling, but he hasn't bowled the last couple. He's got stuff going on. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, cream soda for me, Tom. Thank you.
Feel free, Clark.
Are you driving me home? One sip, I do that.
Right.
Sure.
Right behind me. You're like one of my kids. I was looking back. I felt someone behind me, and I could not.
I'm just trying to stay out of everybody's way.
Oh, just finishing up the match here. Yeah? I'm sure if I got up and walked around and then sat back down, I'd probably get cold. But right now I feel fine. But it is chilly in here. I shouldn't say chilly. They have it air conditioned for a reason.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it should be.
Hey, Joe. Hey, Joe, you want that? He gone. Joe, can I get a seat on? You can go back get it yourself if you'd like. I guess I will. I tried helping you.
13 and 4. I could do it. I could walk down there and do it. Apparently not. It's like 4 buttons. I had to do it all day today.
Could go out in my hoodie. Yes, sir. Or I have a blanket on my car. But it's all out in my car.
You walk out to the car and you'll be like, it's hot out here. And then you
I know.
We're just waiting for
oh, they're there. They just added a letter.
So now we have those 3 winners bowl against they're both all 3 at the same time.
Yeah, it's an
And
elimination.
Elimination, low is out.
Correct.
And then they get seated 4th and 5th. And then they bowl into and then they go right to our typical step ladder.
Yep.
Just taking us a while to get to that.
So whoever the top score moves on and the bottom 2 moves out?
Nope, top 2 scores. So whatever the highest of that is the 4 seed,
Four
and
seed,
then the
yeah.
other one's the 5th, and the other guy goes home.
Or stays around.
Yeah, he sticks around for a little bit. It's kind of like when you're getting chased by a bear and you have a couple guys with you. You just can't be the slowest guy.
You just got to outrun the other guy. Exactly. Yeah, I don't know that being chased by a bear. Speaking of that, did you hear that just like a month ago or less than that, guy's hunting with his 10 or 12-year-old son, and they're bear hunting. So they were they're feeding the bear, whatever, baiting bear, whatever, and then all of a sudden the kid shot the bear, but didn't get a good enough shot, so he wasn't dead. So they were walking and started tracking it. Well, then all of a sudden they got around the corner and the bear's like 6 feet from him. And the bear is attacking the dad. And he's just fighting him off. And he's mauling him. And the kid shot from the hip and shot the bear dead.
Wow.
Right? Just like that. And
That was over in Wisconsin.
yeah, somewhere, just like a month ago.
Yep. I'm looking at Davo's big bald head right now. We'll have to do some rearranging of the scoreboard there.
Probably. We'll let Jason do that because he knows how to do that.
No, Kimmer.
I think he figured it out.
He had to pack up. Let me see if I can get this. Probably won't. Nope, that didn't work. Yep, I'm gonna leave it for him. You're gonna have to expand the scoreboard. I tried and I obviously failed. It's almost good right there.
Excuse me.
Do they get to? Who gets to pick what lanes they're on?
Chad, then Dave.
Kimmer is the low seed, so he's stuck with what's left over.
He can't just jump on the one lane with. If they both pick 13, he can't just
That's
jump
probably
on
what'll
13.
happen.
All right, I have all my notes now for next year to make sure we know to do the same exact thing on this format.
Good ball in it, Caleb.
Imagine that, the Twins are losing 5-2 in the 7th.
No.
I would have never thought.
So, good. What about the Atlanta Braves having to play a doubleheader on Monday?
Yes.
for the marbles to get in, right?
Yeah,
they
yeah.
need to win both to get in?
I'm not exactly sure now.
But it's
close
playoff
to that,
comp- yeah.
Yep. Well, let's see. Are they? And Kansas City is winning 4-2 in the sixth today over Atlanta. So what are the Mets doing here? And they're winning 5-0 in the fifth. So yeah, they might have to win them both then to get in.
Yeah. Because they play someone that's also in contention, right?
Mets are playing Milwaukee.
No, I'm talking Braves.
Play Kansas City. The Kansas City is already in.
On Monday?
No, Atlanta's playing New York on Monday.
It's right, and they both have a chance to make the
yes, they
playoffs.
do.
Yeah.
Atlanta and the Mets both play on Monday. I still can't get over the collapse of the Twins. But.
No. But Detroit coming out of nowhere.
That's another thing, yeah. And they were sellers at the trade deadline.
Be able to like drag it. What the heck? Can you expand it? Oh. These IT guys, they're teachable.
Wow.
We're in. You don't need practice.
Yeah, I don't rush them.
You.
Speaking of baseball, Luis Arraez is going to win another batting title.
Yeah.
3 years in a row, 3 different teams.
That's impressive.
That's impressive, but his year wasn't that impressive. It's only like 314, so it's not like it's not like it's 350 like last year when he hit that high.
Right.
But that's in the National League. Bobby Witt Jr. at 330 something to win in the American League, and I think Aaron Judge is 320 something or whatever. But Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, what's your?
Unbelievable year that's never been done. What he just did was unprecedented.
I don't know that it'll happen again.
By him only if he doesn't pitch.
Right.
I think he went all out this year because he didn't pitch because of his rotator cuff surgery. Not rotator cuff. Whatever he had. Elbow, yeah. So he went all out on a DH. And here's a little interesting thing. David Ortiz, who I really don't care for at all, complained about 3 weeks ago. He said, well, we'll have to see what they do on the MVP because I was told I couldn't win the MVP because I was just a DH. But now the sweetheart of baseball is talked about being the MVP, whatever. So I think there's a little bit of sourness in Big Poppy's thing there. But my thing was, Shohei Ohtani didn't take any steroids, so
right.
And he didn't play in Boston either.
Right.
How many home runs?
That little short porch.
The pesky pole, 302 down that pesky pole, and then 315 to the wall and left.
Right.
We always talked about what would Mauer have hit at Fenway Park.
Yeah.
All you had to do was hit these 325-foot flies off that monster, and he'd hit 400.
Yeah.
So did they determine they picked the order?
Yeah. Kimmer got A.
Imagine that. Let me guess. Would Chad take C?
No.
Or no?
Ullman took C.
Oh, Ullman was next.
Yep.
Okay.
Chad took B, I guess, and then Ullman took C.
Okay.
The only reason I know that is because they started laughing because Chad goes, "You can have A." Would you like A? To Daniel.
That makes sense what Chad did then because they're up here and they're both on top, one on each side, and he took the side. Yeah. And no matter what, he's going to be the last guy throwing.
Oh yeah.
Unless if he needs it for sure, he's going to be waiting. He's one of those guys. I'm not sure how much he looks at the scores, but he absolutely wants to know what he needs. Clark is one of those absolutely wants to know what he needs.
Yep.
I'm going to go grab a chair.
Does Bach still throw 16?
Yes.
There it is.
So that's the
There's
four.
four of them.
There's the quartet who use 16-pound bowling balls. Well, there's more and more people going to 14 as we get older.
Well, wasn't it for a while? Everybody wanted to be at 16, and then everybody migrated to 15.
Yeah. Well, again, I was way back.
Right.
I was one of the first ones to go down to 15, if I remember correctly, of everybody I knew. And now not one of the first, but
At 17 years of age,
Yeah, he went to 15.
you went to 15.
Yeah.
my first bowling ball at 12 was a 15-pounder. It was my
Wow.
grandmother's. My used hand-me-down grandmother's bowling. I couldn't even tell you what kind it was.
Grandma Corbett had some
Yes.
pipes.
Yes, she did. Story about my grandma Corbett. She's only like 130 average bowler, but
She would have done more if she would have thrown a 12.
Right.
so she bowled at Elsie's, and she lived in southeast Minneapolis, and along the way was a Roan's Bar. And so she always had to stop at a Roan's Bar to have a shot of whiskey on the way to bowling, because she never had any alcohol at home. And so one day, I guess she had 2 shots of whiskey at her own bar, and they had her first ever 600. First and only one ever 600.
Chasing that high ever since.
Exactly,
2
yeah.
shots every night and still can't get there.
Yeah.
And my grandfather, who was bowling like East Side Lanes way back there, whatever, he was 190-some average bowler for like 20 years back in the 30s and 40s, and which was really good back then. And I guess he threw the ball, imagine this, straight and hard. And nobody wanted to keep, that's when they set pins,
Right.
and nobody wanted to set pins for him because the pins would fly out or whatever. So I kind of come from a bowling family, except for my dad. I mean, my dad bowled all the time. He averaged 162 for like 15 years. Not anymore, not any less. It was always that.
Okay. Then just, let me know. I'm pretty much in Monday through Saturday anyways now for the season. So. Yep. Sounds good. Good bowling today, man. Good tournament.
Yeah,
You're
good
welcome.
bowling.
So this will just, it'll go fairly fast. People are just going to keep on bowling. It's not where one guy bowls 2 frames, somebody
Yeah,
sits
right.
down or whatever. It's just constant bowling.
We'll have an answer pretty quick as to who is eliminated here, and then we'll find out our first match of the step ladders. It'll be the 2 remaining facing off against each other on 17 and 18 in match number 1.
That's true. And the seeding, those guys, they're really just seeding. 4th and 5th doesn't matter except for who gets a choice of starting the match.
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah. It's really just getting that loser out of there. You know, that's really
The
what it's all
non-winner?
about.
Non-winner.
Yeah, the loser. No, it is. It's all about just kind of this round getting the one eliminated, and then you're right. The only advantage is just going to be getting the choice.
So the top 3 have been sitting around for an hour and a half.
Long time.
And the top 1 is going to be sitting around by his last shot to now. It's going to be over 2
2 and a
hours.
half.
2 and a half.
Yeah.
The good news is he's 19, so I think he'll be able
Exactly,
to
yeah.
pry it off.
He's not going to stiffen up like one of the old timers would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a lot. It's a long time to sit. That's one of those questions too, where like, do you want to lead and just know that you're no worse than second?
Yes, absolutely.
Right? Because with this long of a break and this long of a format
Right.
in between, I wouldn't. Yeah. I'd take my chances on going to sit and hide.
That was always talked about. Chuck Vashaw, my Laker teammate, way back when we always took 10 games of qualifying Saturday. We always had A-B squad, and always took the top 12 for Sunday. A lot of times he was like the only lefty who'd make the cut or 1 or 2, and he'd lead a lot of times, and then he would lose in the championship match or whatever. And his dad would say, "Don't lead." So he goes, "I'll take my chances anytime." So he was one of those like Vert Jenger at the time who had like 10 firsts and 10 seconds. They go back and forth and back and forth. Well, now
Like Chad with 30 and 30.
41 and 60.
Yeah.
41 titles and only probably 60 seconds. I don't know if he's got that many. But I wouldn't doubt that he's been in that championship match 100 times. So when I was looking at it, I was doing all the stats. I didn't realize he has, we were talking about 300 games, which we're not going to have a lot of high scores anymore because of the patterns we use.
Yeah, right.
He has 21 CBA 300
Wow.
games.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty impressive.
Box
I got one.
like 14 or 15. I got 2. I started a lot way before you, whatever. So.
1.
I was really impressed today with Mr. Kimmer here. He doesn't bowl a lot of CBAs.
No.
We were talking about that.
He definitely had a good showing today for himself.
It's not done yet.
And it's not done yet, yeah. This is already the deepest run that he's made. But
So he hasn't been in a ladder, has he?
I'm about 98%
I would say not.
sure that that's not the case.
And he's got strike spared turkey.
Yeah,
He's got the A position.
Yeah.
He's going to
So-
put pressure on those
you
guys.
bet. Still alive. I was just pointing out for sure that
Well,
he's had a good tournament
I
today.
would
Oh, yeah.
say Davey Ullman's the one that's hurting right now. With that
Is he in the
split.
bet you win, Daniel Kimmer?
You know what? I'll go find
Because
that
if
out.
he isn't, I want him to win.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Now cheering for.
And then Jace Goedel, would he get in that? You know, I don't
I'm pretty sure
I think
he's
he
got
did.
optional, so I think he probably
okay.
got that too. But I'll check.
Josh Kennedy for sure is in it.
Yep.
And that,
And I would assume Zach would. It would be
Yeah, I'm
kind of
pretty
dumb
sure.
if he wasn't.
Well,
not kind of dumb. It would be
that would be an
dumb.
idiotic thing
Yeah.
to do. Well, you know, there was a really good bowler who used to bowl, won about 4 CBA titles, left-hander, moved down to Florida, who didn't ever want to put up his own money to bowl the tournaments. And, you know, I was smart enough to sponsor him here, and I'm going, as good as you are, Matt McNeil. What? I didn't know I was talking about that.
Is this mic on?
Why wouldn't he do it? I don't know. He was, but a lot of guys are afraid to spend their own money. Pressure on themselves or whatever. I don't know what it is, but so Daniel Kimmer picking up that 3.6910 with a spare
plastic,
ball.
yeah.
That's probably the best thing to do because you can't pick it up with a strike ball. Oh, no chop for the 136 or 124 for Davey there.
Skinner, Mike Skinner's always said, "Scared money don't make money," and
He
yeah.
wasn't afraid to spend
No,
money
he
on
is
anything. No. I was talking to Steve Sir the other day. I went to a Twins game with him, and we saw Mike Leonard at the Twins game. So he goes, I always wanted Mike Leonard and Mike Skinner to bowl doubles. Could have been Leonard Skinner. I thought, hey, yeah, that's pretty good. I could have done that. Or I like with Pat Humphrey, I always like the duo of Don Breeden and Denny Dix.
Breeden
The
Dix.
Breeden Dix duo that bowled the doubles. And they won. They won a doubles title.
So the answer is Kimmer is not.
There it is.
All right.
That's my horse.
Gold
Along-
Kimmer.
Along with Goodell only being in for 20.
Okay.
So, and that has been a recent, let's say, thing as of lately.
People not getting in the full $30?
Yeah, and now we've got some splits that end up being some odd percentages,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, we had to talk about that to make sure we
so
did it
had to
correctly.
separate, only getting 30% of the first half, and the other guy gets
Right.
the balance of that.
Right.
So the way we have it, so the bet you win is $30. And that gets you into 100% of the pot, which you win 50% of the pot.
50% of the pot, yep.
And you're 100% in for 50%. And if you spend $20, you get
30%.
30% of it. And if you're in for $10, you get 10% of it.
20.
20. See, that's
Yep, 10 for 20.
Yeah, I know. It's all these numbers.
20
I
for
know.
30, 30 for 50.
There you go.
Yep.
Okay. So now you guys understood all that. We explained it as clear as mud.
Right.
But
Yep. Very muddy.
oh,
Pushed it
wait
over.
for it.
That's not his fault.
Slowest racks in the state.
No, they're not.
Yeah. I'll tell you where the slowest racks are.
Where?
Flarities.
Oh,
Pretty close there, yep.
They are the slowest. You bowl there in league. I don't bowl this year in league there. But shadow balls, 8 on a pair, 10 minutes. You get about 6 because the racks are so slow. You can't just go.
Timed perfectly.
is it
And what's the reason for that?
similar to the Nationals? I feel like we get 5 shots a guy
Yeah, it
in
seems like
Nationals.
it, right. Oh, and I wonder what the reason is for not out of ranges don't happen.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the reason why is to have faster or slower ones. But
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
the sweep
and
comes
Nationals
down.
will come down quick,
The sweep
and then
comes down.
then it sits there.
oh yeah.
Oh, good thinking.
Oh, Skol Vikings. We had to bring us some
Posters.
posters so our beverages don't sweat on the table. I would say it's warm in here, but I had to go put my jacket on because now I'm chilled.
Right.
But I'm not bowling. Oh, that hooked real
Yeah.
early.
Davo's look is not great right now.
No, it's not. But you know, he's not last.
Yeah.
Chad with that open. Or no.
No, he
Never
is.
mind. Never mind.
He is, but
Yeah. Daniel Kimmers though. The double by Chad. I don't care, Davey. You might be my teammate, but I don't want you to win. Davey had a good day yesterday at the Southway Open.
he sure did.
I heard there were 2 people plus, and he was one of them.
Yeah.
At 80 over, whatever it was, and who ended up winning? Oh, William Jones.
William
won.
Jones, yeah.
So a lot of bowling going on up here in St. Cloud the whole month of September, Jason.
Holy buckets, were we busy?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good thing.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, it was the month of St. Cloud. We had the putts and putters,
The
or
pins and putts.
pins and putts.
So the first weekend we had Saturday we hosted the JV for high school.
Yeah.
Then Sunday was pins and putts. The following weekend we had the high school varsity, and then the Sunday was the MJBT. And then the following weekend we had, well, it wasn't here. I bowled the senior masters. We
You
had
did
that
bowl.
at Saxon.
I did well there.
And you did, good tournament. And Sunday we had the Central Minnesota Brunswick Sweeper Tour.
You didn't bowl that, did you?
I did
You
not.
talked about it, right? So.
Yeah. And then this weekend, Southway Open and CBA. So, and we might as well keep it going. So October 5th and 6th is the Southway Youth Doubles being run by Nevin Brady
Really?
up here. Yep,
Yeah.
our second year of hosting the Youth Doubles tournament. So I believe 4 shifts on Saturday and 2 shifts on Sunday. So all of you
Utes.
Ute bowlers,
Yeah, Utes.
Utes, come on up here and bowl.
And I can see we're packed on this side of the house, everybody watching the CBA tournament. But down in the low end, you got some good open bowlers going down there. And did you re-oil for them, or you let this pattern go?
They are enjoying the leftovers of what
Okay.
we bowled on.
I was just kind of wondering how they like
I'll go,
that.
I'll go fix the cameras when they're done sitting at the table,
Oh.
bumping our camera.
Oh, yes, good point.
Yeah. There we go.
You could put tape on there and say keep off, but people don't.
Yeah, they don't listen
No.
or read. I should say.
Yeah. All right, so Chad with that turkey, and Daniel Kimmer's going to be in, and the most 191 is the max that Davey can have. So Davey's going to end up 6th, and that was going to. Well, okay, he could still spare this, and he could have. Well, Chad could take over the 4th seed, but it doesn't
could.
matter much unless he likes one lane. Well, Chad's going to be on 17, 18, right?
Yep.
I heard him say earlier that's his favorite pair.
Oh,
Not.
yesterday he had like 130.
Yeah, okay. So Chad and Davey both bowled yesterday. You know, they live in Owatonna,
Yeah.
which is, you know, the other side of the city from St. Cloud. So not only have to drive to the city, they got to drive out of the city. And they drove all the way home, drove all the way back up.
Yep.
Me, I would have gotten a hotel.
Chad said they would have probably got a hotel, but he had some birthday party
Oh,
or something
that's
on
what he had, yes.
that night. So
Yep, there was a birthday party, he said. So, well, that'll put an end to David Ullman's day.
6th place is pretty good. And where did he end up yesterday?
I honestly don't recall.
what did he end up?
I thought he was in the top 5.
4?
Or whatever.
I think
Okay.
he might have been 4th.
Daniel Kimmer moving on to the stepladder.
His first step ladder.
It's amazing, you know, guys like him. There's tons of guys like him out there who
Yeah.
are good. That Matt Payne, if 20 years ago or whatever, didn't think he was good enough to make it. Now he's a Hall of Famer. But all you got to do is just come out here and bowl. It might take a while to get acclimated, say, whatever, but it's still just bowling.
Yep.
Maybe learn your equipment, learn what to do when this happens, but they're all good. There's 150 people that keep bowling these CBAs every month. And 30 years ago, whatever, or more than that, actually, we had that many because this was the only game in town. There was no other
Right.
tournament organization.
Right.
So. Chad, now you got to throw another one.
So Kimmer's your 4 seed.
Kimmer will be the 4 seed. Chad, right where he likes it, having run the ladder.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure he's done that more than once.
Yeah.
We could possibly have something that we have not had in a long time.
Uh-oh.
That just is a back-to-back winner,
Oh,
winning back-to-back tournaments.
Josh.
Kennedy has a chance.
We have, what do we have?
It's been a
here?
long time since we had a back-to-back winner.
So we have a possibility of someone getting their first ever title.
Yes.
We have 2 chances at that. We have a chance at a back-to-back.
Yes.
Plethora.
Oh, we do.
We have an opportunity for a tie. They haven't thrown a shot yet. But we have a tie.
Exactly.
Possibly.
And I'm going to read the back-to-back winners that we've had in the past.
All right. I'm going to move the cameras. Hey, did you get a picture?
Sure did.
We can do it after this match if you want.
I don't know. If Chad loses, he might run away.
We're missing one anyways.
Who?
Oh, he's sitting down there.
Oh, yeah.
The leader.
He threw 5 shots and he had to go sit down. He was tired.
He's tired, yeah. I got that. Well,
He had 5 shots in 2 hours. He was a little tired.
Very tuckered.
His arm. Oh, he's a 2-hander. Both hands hurt.
Yeah. So who are my hands?
Where's the title match there?
15 and 16. You're welcome.
1 and 2.
You can stay loose on 23 and 24 though.
I mean,
You can too, Dave.
yeah.
Yes. I mean, I'm going to charge you $2 a game open bowling rate, but you can stay loose down there.
I can't believe he's charging you so little.
Well, it's the league bowler.
I was gonna say so much.
Right.
How about just per hour? $70 an hour. I hear some places charge.
And $5 for
There-
shoes.
There is some of that. I heard.
I don't care if you have your own.
I heard a rumor from good golly, I wish I could remember now, but they said that the Bolero in Brooklyn Park, after having some issues with clientele and maybe some gunplay or something, I believe, that occurred up there,
Not
has
there.
gone to $10 a game to try to curb, what clientele
The
might come
riffraff
in,
that comes in?
if you will. And I
And they're
along
empty.
now again, I heard this from
A little birdie.
somebody that bowls in the cities, and I can't just think of the name, but they said they heard also that they were going to raise it after that, just in an attempt to try and and I guess I'm curious
Wow.
as to how that
Oh,
that
it's-
works, because I don't know who could afford to pay $10 a game. Thank you.
So,
Okay, perfect, awesome.
your
So it's-
ladder
Thanks.
from 5th to 1st is Chad Nelson, your 5 seed, Daniel Kimmer, Jace Goedel, Josh Kennedy, and Zach Andresen. The average age of all those kids together equals Chad's.
Yeah. I just think the total age of all of them put together equals Chad. You know what? Daniel's got to be the oldest one, I would believe.
The second
out of that
oldest
group.
one in the ladder,
And
probably.
that's probably at like 24.
Make sure I get the score sheets today. Speaking of ages, they're all written on there because it's the bowler of the decades. I was talking about the back-to-back champions,
Oh, yeah.
back-to-back winners,
Yeah.
and Josh Kennedy has a chance today.
Yep.
There have been 32 back-to-back champions since 1971 to now. Some of those guys won it 2 or 3, 4 times. Like Chad Nelson won back-to-back 3 different times.
Yep.
Dan Bach 3 different times. Carl Feit, 3 different times for 4 different times for Dan Bach, back-to-back. But one bowler has won 3 consecutive.
Chad.
One bowler has won 4 consecutive.
Chad.
Exactly. So Chad won June, July, August of 2008, and then August, September, October, November of 2015. And the last back-to-back champion was Dan Bach in 2017.
Wow.
I know. I was surprised that
I
it's
thought
that
Brady
long
had
ago.
back-to-backs.
Unless I missed it. You know, I could have missed something there too.
I know who hasn't.
You know, I got this booklet. I'm going to give this to you too because I got another one. I printed 3 of these. There's like 70 sheets or whatever. But
Right.
I can email it to you.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'll do that.
Hello there.
Let me look on the back-to-back because I have it all here. I got all the title winners from our first tournament, by the way, Matt, was June of 1971.
Yeah. I wasn't a twinkle in my dad's eye at that point.
And guess who bowled that one? Who bowled today? Clark Polzer.
I don't know that he's left yet.
yeah. Okay, great. Let me make sure that Brady Stearns. I could have certainly missed.
I feel like it, but that, take that for what it's worth.
Yeah, he probably was in a bunch of step ladders or even championship matches back to back.
Yeah.
But I'm looking here, and
You can't find him. He's never won a tournament.
no, I'm just looking. I don't. No, the last back to back was Bar. This would be like
God,
Brady,
I could have
Chad,
swore he did it last
Brady.
year. Or the year before. One of them. But, hey, you get the stats, so
I have them all.
I'll defer to you.
Yeah, it's all here in black and white. It is too. I got black stuff on white paper.
It's not like the newspaper doesn't come off your fingers.
Exactly right. Yeah. I still read the paper. I still get the paper sent to me. I could look at it on my phone, but I like to spread it out while I'm eating breakfast, or I sit out on my deck and my dog jumps on my lap and he reads the paper with me, and he's just as upset about the Twins as I am.
Right.
So. All right, what are we waiting for here?
He called for tape.
Okay, all right. That was a ploy by Norm Duke.
Oh, he'll bowl the whole time. He'll bowl the whole time.
Norm Duke would call for tape all the time, even when he didn't need it, to do that to mess up his opponent. Now, is that sportsmanship, gamesmanship, or is that just being smart? And if it bothers the other guy, well, hey,
Right.
it's his fault for getting
That's
bothered.
correct. I got to witness that firsthand with Haugen Jr. against Matt McNeil when they bowled at the Masters.
Oh, I remember I watched that. Yeah.
He called for tape like 2 or 3 times in there, and he didn't. He'd put one piece in and take the same piece out and put it back.
It looked like he was doing something. You're talking Michael Haugen Jr.
Yep.
Well, that was a Masters, right?
Yep.
It was
It was like
USBC
his.
Masters.
I think it was Matt's second match that weekend.
Yes.
That event, but yeah, that
But
was.
Matt won anyway, didn't
Yeah.
he?
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Yep. Yeah, he just tried to slow it down.
Yeah, well, you have to do whatever you have to do.
Right.
Out there, that's their life. They're
Right.
They're living, so they have to. As long as you really didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
Just slow it down or speed up or whatever.
Yep.
Gamesmanship.
Yes, we were just talking about that.
What is it that you say? You can't speed up. You can only slow everything down.
That's true.
Right? Isn't it?
You can't. You can only go as fast as the slowest.
Oh, I've always said
player,
that.
right?
That's
I mean,
I've
you
always.
can't.
So one person can dictate how.
The speed of.
Now in a PBA tournament with the double jump rule, everybody kind of gets done at the same time, so it doesn't really come into play unless the guy re-racks. We can only do it like twice a game or whatever. So
And their shot clock situation now too
On
in the
TV,
PBA,
yeah.
Yes,
right?
right.
That changes everything too. But otherwise, yeah, that was the deal, right? You'd slow it down if you knew that it affected the other person.
Yes.
Then of course you'd even do it more.
Yep.
As long as there wasn't a rule to try and keep you from doing it.
Rod Toft told me years and years ago. Now Rod Toft, I was just a very, very good bowler, USBC Hall of
That
Famer.
looked firm.
It looked firm, yeah. Rod Toft said that John East would rush him because everybody knows John East would just grab the ball and he's off the approach and get going, whatever. So he'd go up there and throw his 2 strikes, and then Rod, who's very deliberate, all of a sudden felt like he had to go faster and it got him out of his rhythm.
Yep.
So, but John doesn't do that to get somebody. That's just his pace.
John's just fast.
He just goes.
moves.
He says, "What do I got to think about standing up there? I'm not going to learn any more than him before I got there. So grab the ball and go." Todd Savoy kind of does the same thing,
Yeah.
you know.
Alright, I missed on those on spot.
Yeah.
Here are my CBA factoids. Pretty much same as last year, except for I added a couple more. But now I got to add another one. Got Clark Polzer and Cody Adams.
Yeah, the Cody Adams.
Have the the highest age difference of two people bowling in a match together, not a stepladder, but just in a match play.
Kind of busted out of trouble there for Kimmer. He had the washout standing for a second, got that 10 to get out. But he's not looking very comfortable right now.
One factoid I want to bring up, because the guy bowled today. Ron
Is that
Kish.
you bold?
No, the guy bowled today. Ron Kish
all right.
has now bowled in 236 consecutive singles tournaments.
Wow.
Came out of juniors, and it was like August of 04. It's 20 years of not missing a singles tournament.
Yeah, he's a year
crazy.
older than I am. He's
That is
43,
crazy.
44 maybe. He might be. Yeah.
Another factoid I just came up with, I'm looking through all the stats. Do you know that Chad Nelson has won 6 year-end tournaments?
Huh. Is that the most of anyone
Yes.
then,
Oh, yeah.
I would assume?
And good for him.
Who's won 3? Who's won the next? Who's got 3 year-end
He's got
tournaments?
3?
Brady.
Yes,
Brady or Lumpy?
Brady. 3 in a row.
Yep.
Then Lumpy won when he won in April was his second one, along with Hoppo and Scott Cole, who have won twice in year-end tournaments.
Huh. You know, Dave Rasmus has 1 title, and it's a year end.
Yeah, that's in the factoids. You know who else has 1 title, which is the year-end is the only tournament win? Steve Sir.
Okay.
I think Pat Erickson's the other one. I got a factoid here, let me tell you.
Oh, boy. Yeah, he set that short.
Yeah. Good 9.
Yeah, that is a good 9. That could have been 3, 6, 9, 10 or
Oh, wow.
something along those
Yeah.
lines. Pretty easy.
Dave Anderson, you know Jeff Anderson's dad.
Yeah.
Dave
Yep.
Anderson, Pat Erickson, Dave Rasmus, Steve Sir, and Jason Cragen. The guys who have the year-end as their only tournament.
Jason Cragen.
You know, there is only one bowler who won the doubles, Eau Claire, the U.S. Open, the Linz Tournament of Champions, and the year-end tournament.
Your majors?
The majors, and there'll never be another Linz Tournament of Champions, so nobody's going to
Right.
beat this record.
Right.
One guy, and that's Dave Hoppenrath.
Huh. Oppo.
That's not the guy I would have bet.
Oh.
And there's one guy then.
There it is.
Oh.
He is so lucky that he is bowling this weekend because those pins finally cracked open. That proves it. Those new pins are finally moving. That was a good messenger. Yeah, we got all new pins across the house, and they have been not very lively quite yet.
Never happened.
It's got to read.
There we go.
He's not giving up.
Yeah, maybe he's got a little more comfortable here.
Well, he was messing around with his tape, so he probably didn't have a good.
Now
Yeah.
it feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You never know how anybody handles nerves,
Sure.
you know, when they get in for the first time. And
At this point of the day, my hand actually shrinks when I build
Really?
this many, and whatever reason. So I gotta add tape or I start squeezing it, then I'm worse. I start squeezing it, so.
Ooh, you got that 10 out? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been really nice there, getting that.
Get a triple.
That would have really helped. There's one record that's probably never going to be beat.
Other than Ron's,
Yeah,
the Iron Man.
the Iron Man. Yeah, no, who's ever going to do whatever? That's not gonna, nobody's going to beat that. Only because he started bowling all those, and then now he's going to keep doing it. Whatever.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to set that record really high. The oldest bowler to ever bowl a CBA tournament at 88 years old,
No, it's not Clark.
John Kissel. The only one who could beat that would be Clark.
Right.
Maybe me. That's a possibility. Honest to God, it's in the back of my mind just to keep bowling.
88.
88 years old, he bowled. He's also the oldest to ever bowl the, what was the other? What's the other? The ABT.
Oh.
Because he bowled
yeah.
them too. And then the other
shot,
one to ever
Chad.
win a CBA tournament, Zach Andresen.
You said the youngest? What was he? 18, or was he even 18?
17 years, 10 months, and 23 days. If you really
Because
want
Little
to know.
Crier
that.
was 17 and
Yeah,
Few
within,
days
they
prior,
were within about a
later.
month difference.
Yeah.
yeah.
So we have got Jace Goedel then waiting
In the
Waiting in the wings.
in the wings.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the winner
On
of this
deck.
one.
He's on deck. In the hole is Josh.
It's a nice jersey you got on there.
Yeah, you have a nice one there too. Fancy.
Looks similar.
You know, there have been 11 CBA Minnesota team challenges.
11. Okay.
11 of them.
And what? 8 of them been won by the locker guy.
Well, you're close.
Most recently.
Of
yes.
the 11, the locker guy team has won 6 of them.
Yeah.
In a way.
Cheating fools.
There's another team that's won it twice.
Melrose.
No. No. The Lakers.
Oh.
So that's 8 of the 11 won by the 2 teams there. And if we would have beat you guys last year, it would have been 3 and 5. That would have been closer. But now it's 6 and 2.
But it's not.
But it's not.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's because funny. I just talked to John East about this last night at the Twins game. Because Chad and Brady crossed over twice for a double, and then otherwise we would have won. Yeah, it worked out just fine.
So that was his second time throwing a plastic ball at non-double
1, 2,
wood
4. Yeah.
and had the headpin standing. He threw it at the 1, 2, 4, yeah, and then 1, 2, 4, 7. And I know they're not easy, and it's tough to control break point, and we've seen it, but they did soften up. It seemed like as the day kind of went on and started to shape a lot better, right?
Yeah.
I just don't know that I can agree with it. And that you see that chop there. It's
Well, we talked about it a little bit earlier,
Yeah.
Matt and I did, about your spare shooting. I talked about what do you do for cross lane spares, use spare ball or whatever. But whatever you do, you got to do it the same all the time. You can't go
All the
back
time.
and forth.
For
So
sure.
If you did that all day today, you got to do what
Right.
got you there.
yep.
Now, does he do that? Do they do that in his league play and other tournaments?
Right,
You don't
right.
really know. I don't know where he bowls leagues, so I don't see him bowling league.
I think
gonna
he's
guess
out in
that,
Monticello.
Oh, he bowls not. Okay.
I was gonna. That McPete's sports bar on the
And
front
that
of his
too.
shirt
Yeah.
tips me off that it might be at McPete's.
Wow, that's pretty deep thinking.
I dug deep.
You did. I was looking at the ice cream on the back. And I said,
Well, that's
where-
more appealing.
Yeah, where is that at? Inside of McPete's?
No, but I think it is Big Lake.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And you are right, Matt. I do think he bowls Monticello too, as I think a lot of the people that live up in that area kind of go back and forth
Yeah.
between those two a bunch.
My,
I think Chad gets thrown in the mix there too at Wico's. I think Buffalo
sure.
probably gets a little bit of that
that's
play as
the
well.
so my nephews, my grandnephews, my brother's grandsons, my grandnephew bowls for St. Michael Albertville, and so it's McPete's, Big Al's in St. Michael,
Yeah.
Buffalo, Wico's, River
Big
City,
Al.
Yeah.
Sundance are the bowling centers where the high school team bowls.
Sure.
Ooh.
Oh, Chad.
Row.
Well,
I mean,
the good news
It's
for
not
him
horrible,
is, yeah, he's had some help from Daniel on that side of things, so he's got a big advantage.
Take your 2
But-
pins here for sure.
yeah.
How come he threw that one?
Wow.
Oh,
What
okay.
was that?
I was saying, how come he threw it from way up there? The last couple spares he threw from back at the approach here, left hand.
So, Kimmer punches, he goes 2-10, right?
Yes,
Forces,
or 210,
Yeah,
210.
and then
Forces him.
209 if he just
If
doubles.
he
So
just
You got a double.
if he just fills 2,
we'll see what he.
could be close. Could be close.
He's only had 1 strike on this lane.
Right, and he missed the head pin.
Twice on it.
That's pretty good.
The old solid 10. That's about as good as you can throw the ball
When you need to, yeah.
Yeah.
on this pattern when you need to. First time having a chance to win a step rifle.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Didn't matter much.
Believe
I
he
guess.
had,
little
signed
insult to injury, I guess, maybe, but yeah, I'm sure he's checked out.
Yeah. The wind came out of the sails when he left the 10 pin.
He knows 5th is where he is today. Great tournament, good event.
And you'll take a picture of the top 5 after this.
I'm gonna do it right now.
Right now, just individual pictures. We'll put them
Yep.
together.
Photoshop.
Well,
back
you
of his
can do
head.
that, can't you?
You can.
I can't.
I can't, but I wasn't saying me either.
Yep. People can.
People can, exactly. I had a hard enough time with my really old Adobe, whatever, taking these pictures. You know, you send me the ones that are, the top 5. Then I have to crop the individual picture out of each one or whatever, and then
That's
get it
pretty
in
good.
there. Yeah, so I was able to do that. Still with my old software.
Huh, I can't.
Can't do that?
Oh, I probably could, I guess.
Yeah.
I just don't think I want to have to work that hard.
Yeah, well.
Chad going to the spare ball, going to the well.
Yeah.
Well, he knows when he gets back on that pair, he wanted to carry some oil down right before that headband. Oh, maybe that's not what he wanted
Not
to do.
sure that's what it is. You're gonna write down 168 to
Yeah, I'm gonna work on it.
200 and
Nah,
You got the clipboard by you.
do I? Oh, why'd you put it so close?
exactly, way over there. Oh,
Oh, 208.
there goes his average.
Yeah,
He's all excited he won.
right. I can see it. Hey, tell him not to run away. You guys got a
Hey,
picture.
take a picture now.
Yeah,
Up against the wall, you redneck.
out in the middle of the street.
Get that beautiful Southway Bowl behind you.
So while we take a break here for take the picture of the top 5. Good tournament for Daniel Kimmer.
That was an awesome tournament.
Make the cut to start with, and then get himself into a good position where he was 4th seed after all the elimination stuff, whatever, and bowled well. And those 2 opens,
Yeah.
that really hurt. 3 opens actually, but the 10 pin kind of didn't matter because
Right.
if that was a strike there, all of a sudden he's still jacked up, and he might throw another good one in the 9th or the first one in the 10th, but it was over. It's really good to take a picture now because everybody's smiling. Otherwise, you have the keyhole
Right.
picture where that is just like a funny one. To us, I don't know if it was funny to him. But,
Right.
yeah. Where you always want to have a smile when somebody takes a picture of you because that picture lasts forever somewhere.
Right.
Now, especially.
Especially now.
Because it can just be put out all over the place. All right, did everybody put their ages on their sheets? What do you think?
I mean, I did.
Yes.
I had to ask Aaron Schroll.
Oh, no.
Somebody might have put it in here. Sometimes they did that. see it's backwards.
Oh, that's why.
He just didn't put it anyway.
Little Dylan Hansen.
Come on, Dylan, you know better. Even though I have his age, it doesn't matter. I need to have it on here.
Mike,
But I can figure that out from last year. I kept the ages.
Right.
I've been doing that, whatever. But anyway, so I asked Aaron Schroeder that game 7. I'm crossing with them, and I go, "How old are you?" He goes, "Why do you want to know that?" And I go, "Well, because of the locker guy bowler of the decade."
Did you listen to the announcements?
Well, that's what I was saying. I didn't. I tried to be nicer.
I know.
how old was Aaron?
37.
37. Good.
37.
Keep him under
Yeah,
40.
Keep him under the. Yeah, exactly. Well, Chad's going to win or not win. He's going to lead the 15 over.
I don't know that there's any 40-year-olds.
It's
You just told
Jason
me.
Cragen.
Yeah, well, I finished ahead of him.
Wow, there might be like 2 of you.
Well,
Oh, no, I saw 42. Was that you?
might have been me.
Scott Endersby.
Oh, Endersby.
Oh.
No, he doesn't count.
I forget he's that old too.
Somebody else's. Well, you were 42.
That's me.
43, Jim Scusa.
Yeah, he
Okay.
was like 400 under.
43.
He struggled. He
Yeah.
struggled today.
43, Ron Kish.
He is 43. Okay, so he is only a year older. I bowled
11
with him in
years
June.
younger.
I bowled against him in juniors.
You want to clear him out? I think.
All I know is there's only,
He's still wearing the same lens he wore when we were in high school. So,
and he's wearing the same, use the same bowling balls.
oh yeah.
Probably.
Well, he's using equipment that he won when he won the
Oh, like a
Rotogrip.
Okay.
the Rotogrip stuff because
That
there was
one,
at the end of this year.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep.
So Jace choosing to
Start.
Wow, that's different. We usually
different.
That is.
we usually have where we always wonder who's going to start and who likes to do what, whatever. But whether he likes one lane better than the other, or if he just likes to have ball in hand at the end.
Right. And this one's different because typically you want the finish on the left lane because you have room
Especially because playing this deep.
to go that left,
Yeah.
go further left. Yeah.
He might have just wanted to. I don't know. He threw that one really well to start out with.
Right.
And he came over here. The guys were in the 7th frame. What's the next pair? 50. He put the stuff down. He's ready to bowl this
Yeah.
match. He's practiced up enough, and
Oh. Well, that went forever. Oh, he kind of spun it. It
yeah.
looks like.
You know, there were a lot of people. There's a lot of 20 and 30-year-olds now who bowl, which is a really good thing. 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, there was one guy in the 60s and one guy in the 70s today. And probably, 4 or 5 in their 50s. Chad, Clements, Ullman.
So Ullman's in his 60s, isn't
59.
he? 59. Thought he was in 60s.
Yeah,
Sorry,
so-
sorry,
yeah,
Dave.
yeah, exactly.
Wherever you are.
So maybe just a 3. So it's 5 guys over 50 in both.
Is that a grouping now, over 50?
Yeah, because last year I put them into one group. Instead of having 5 decades, there's only 4.
Okay.
So instead of 250 each one, it's 300 each one. And I just put Clark and me in the same.
Okay.
Because otherwise it was just Clark and me last year. Same with this
Right.
year, been 16 over. And I go, but, although if Clark wouldn't have shown up today, I might have had 5 decades. 'Cause it would have just been me. I'll just pay myself. All right, Chad threw that one better that time. So even the best of them can throw it bad at times.
Oh, yeah. As he walked back, he said he spun the shit out of that
Yeah.
last one. So,
The one on the right lane.
Yes.
Yes. It's funny. I tried to do that a little bit more today at a certain time to try to get a better reaction, and it was okay if I didn't skid it to the right.
correct.
Because then it stayed more on line. Then I was okay with it. Where did we say Jace was from? I know you said he goes to school in Iowa, but
He does. I don't know for a fact. I
let's
wonder if
look
it
and
says
see
on
if he
there.
Put that on a score sheet of where
I thought North Metro, but who knows? I could be way off.
St. Cloud.
Oh,
How would Jason not know that?
how wouldn't he know that? Unless he's
Unless-
thinking that's...
Where
Yeah,
we're bowling.
right.
All right, good spirit. Yeah, I don't know. Look, Zach doesn't even put where he's from or anything.
Well, he doesn't know.
You know, sometimes not knowing is better than knowing anything. I haven't watched Jace Bowl very much, more from afar.
Yep.
But what he's pretty solid.
He is.
There's a lot of two-handers.
So we were chatting about this last month. You weren't in the
I wasn't
booth last
there.
month, and Chad even came in and talked a little bit about it, and the fact that his follow through and like how he does it is very Belmo-esque, and that it looks good, and he's gotten much Jace
better,
has gotten
yeah.
much better
Well,
with everything, and I'll chalk that up to collegiate bowling too. I mean he's seeing stuff. He's got to put the effort in, the work. So kudos to him.
Yeah, very solid. I always said Zach Andresen is the best two-hander we have around here, and he's proven it, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
And they're very similar ages. And whether Zach started two-hand before Jace or whatever, but
St. Francis is where Jace is from.
Okay, all right.
And he bowls for Wartburg.
Where's that?
I think it's Iowa.
Okay. St. Francis. Huh? There's still a bowling center there?
Waverly, Iowa. Waverly, Iowa.
Iowa. Okay. I heard there Oktoberfest.
Yeah,
I heard there are like about 8 college schools that have bowling in Iowa, and 1, maybe 2 in Minnesota.
Yeah, that's sad.
Isn't it though?
It is.
And I always wonder why. The bowlers, the people, I really don't know.
Yeah.
I've never been involved in collegiate bowling. So it's a Mankato, and then where's the other one? I don't even know. Maybe there's only one in Minnesota.
Does the U have one? I know U of M had one
They
at one
used to.
point.
Oh,
yeah.
Dave Hoppenrath and Brad Subak ran the national championship team
Scott
in the
Pohl
70s.
and
But they didn't. I don't know if they won a national championship. Yes, they used to be on a team
Yep.
there. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember this is before I knew either one, Brad or Hopple.
Yeah.
Hopple was my age. Brad was a couple years younger, and so I'm watching. Oh, it must have been like ABC or maybe whatever it was, 70. 4 or 5-ish, something like that, because they would have been, say, 2019-ish or something. Yeah, they won the national championship of bowling, and I've seen their names, whatever.
Yeah.
And I go, wow, the U of M team won. Then I got to be bowling with them, both of those guys in the tournament team. Got to know them really good,
Right.
really well after a while.
I'm trying to think of what other school would be. You're right, Mankato is one of them.
The only one I would think of is there one in Moorhead, because that's the bowling up in Fargo, Moorhead area.
Yeah, I think there might be.
They don't know. Scott Pohl's the one who told me that. So, and he would know because he coaches the Apple Valley. I think it's the Apple
High
Valley
school,
team,
yeah.
high school team, and he does well. His kids do really well.
Well, they should. Scott's really good.
Exactly. Yeah, you get a.
He knows his stuff.
He does. And he's down there. Not only does he know how to coach, he knows equipment. He knows this bowling ball, what that does, and how to lay outs or whatever. It's all good. Look at it. He even stands up there like Belmont.
Well, the scores are recording live. I don't know why this camera's not updating. Where is he?
Oh, okay.
The scores are not on here. They're fine here. They're not updating on the camera.
What pair are we on? 15 and 16?
16, yeah.
Oh, somebody's asking about the score. So we have 74 in the fourth for Jace, and they just updated.
Oh, all you had to do was look at it. We're good. Just this one.
Give it a little.
Yeah. Good work.
Just kicking.
Boom, fixed.
No different than just kicking something. Oh, the chop to 3-6-10. He used a strike ball at that.
Nope. That
Oh,
was
he didn't?
plastic. That was plastic.
Well, he hooked it like a strike.
Yeah, well, it's two-handers. They can't not hook it. And And I say that, and I did the same thing when I needed it this
Yeah.
afternoon. So I've done, and I threw plastic at it. So
Anyway, 82 in the fifth for Jace, and Chad's gonna, well, he's gonna have 88 in the fifth, just kind of being at the stay clean thing.
Yeah.
Both got the one open.
That 3.610 is exactly what we said too. Like no one wants to shoot that right now.
No. I wonder if you take your spare ball and throw it from the right. 'Cause
Right.
It's not going to hook, but you might just skid by the 3 because
Right.
it's not going to hook at all. Or maybe just pick up the 10.
Yeah. Might be worth a shot at this point.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So that double, though, that's huge. Early in the match, the guy just opens, you go up there and get a double, even though it wasn't the best shot. He gets it off his hand so nicely and just let the ball work. Sam Lento told me all the time, Jim Lindquist, I don't know if you remember Jim
Yep.
Lindquist.
Oh yeah, I bowled against him.
He always, at Nokomis in the
Yep.
Bob Hansen
Yep.
league, whatever. So he always said, let the ball work, okay? Just let it go and let it work. And
Good find.
the more often you do that, then the ball's going to do something.
Right.
I have a hard time doing it. I want to fit it in there and, whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
That's how I learned.
Hey Trey, it's the 2023 Storm Lucky Larson Masters pattern.
Is that Trey Henriksmeyer?
That's him.
Congratulations, Trey. You are the 2023-24 CBA
yeah.
Rookie of the Year.
Congrats.
I know you only bowled 2 tournaments, but you were 4th and 2nd, and that was enough points to get you Rookie of the Year. So, if you're around October 26th, where a CBA Hall of Fame and Awards banquet, you get a plaque. We'd love to see you there. Understand if you can't make it, though.
Oh, grab a beer.
Gracias.
Thank you, kind sir.
Ah, very nice. Very nice.
Oh no. You got it.
It's all going to be good.
Sit on it.
Just.
Very good shot by Jace coming back after that open. We were trying to figure out what lane he likes better. He started the match and he started on the left lane.
Yep.
So we don't know. We always talk about this. You want to have the ball in hand or whatever. Or do you really like one lane better than the other? Well, he has it open on the right lane. Maybe he doesn't like it. Or the left lane, he wanted to get it out of the way. Oh.
That's a fortunate break.
Very fortunate. He might not like that left lane.
Then that would make the sense if he
Yeah.
if he didn't like the left lane, then he's finishing on the right. So maybe that's what he was thinking.
Very, very possible. Maybe it hooks. So we were talking about, get more room on the left lane, especially if he's two-handed to hook the ball out, but maybe it hooks too much for him. Because he went through and left the 3-6-10, chopped it. That one was high, got a lucky break.
Right.
He's got one more shot on that lane. He's probably, we never really interview these players. We ought to start doing that sometime. Ask them some painful questions.
That would be a painful question.
That would be a painful question. We used to ask people like, what's your plan of attack? What ball you use and what do you want to do?
We need to get the GoPro hooked up so then we can go down there and ask. We got the mics now that are wireless
That's
and
right, yeah.
movable,
I have a GoPro.
so we can go down there and do like a quick little interview bit beforehand, and we can get their insights. But then
Let's start thinking about that.
to get the other bit, then we almost need a post-game show.
Well,
Or we could just make it a requirement that if you cash, you have to spend at least 10 minutes in the booth talking to the tournament directors about your performance and how it went.
there's that too. Or just,
Yeah,
just
5-minute
maybe
recap.
just a couple of questions.
Yeah. Make them stop by the booth for a little Q&A, on your way out.
Do you give them 5 minutes to calm down after the open 10th frame to lose?
I think we do.
No, we want to get them right out.
Right, exactly. Heat of the moment. That's a good idea. We need to discuss that with somebody. Tell us what's going on, because we can speculate what's going on out there. Because we bowled and we see what's going on. But
Right.
right now, obviously, how many more games of bowl since we bowled the last game
Yeah.
of qualifying, and what pairs and who, whatever. The thing there was a handful of urethane going down early today, the first game, just to,
Which is so crazy to me.
yeah.
But yeah,
People always want to try it,
Right.
But nobody really used it today. So
which is good.
yeah, can you
Which is
imagine
good.
carrying your oil down where it didn't hook?
Right.
Didn't hook the way it was.
Making hook more up front and tighter down lane.
Well,
Just
that's what I had
know.
on 7 and 8. Man, I couldn't get it off the head bit. So you realize, Matt, the two guys warming up on 23 and 24, their age adds up to you.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Oh, very nice shot, Jace, for a turkey. So I'm curious what he's been doing. This is his all-important ninth frame here. He went high for 3-6-10, chopped it, carried that kind of 4-6, whatever it was, last frame. I'm assuming he's making a move on this lane here, but if I notice anything all day today, it's kind of the more I move, the more like hooked. I don't know what he's going to do.
Yeah, it's
I can't really tell where he was standing.
if there's a move to be made, it's always left. It's just how much.
A little loft.
Little loft, yeah. And that's not what he was looking for.
You know, it's funny. I was talking to Endersby about that, and he was like, "You think you can loft it to get it through the front part of the lanes, and then it never reads." And
I honestly believe that it's the amount of oil that was up front. It's almost 34 mils.
Right.
Right? So even though things hook here,
Oh,
how many
very
times?
good.
How many times did you see it hook but then go straight?
Yeah, I made that
So if
comment.
you loft it, you're going to get over the part that's actually getting it
To read.
started back on path. It's just that it's starting early, but it's the only part that's going to get it going back on path. Otherwise, you're lifting it over that, and
Right.
you're hitting 34 mils.
Right. Well, I stopped and talked to Clark. I told him, I watched one ball from you, and I watched it get down the lane, read, and then back off and go. He goes, "Yeah. How do you think Clark liked that?" I go, I had to watch my own ball do that all day. I don't know. I can only imagine.
You say 34 mils. That's not 34 Andy Mills.
It's not 34 Andy mils.
Oh, the
boy.
collective groan or in the background here that kept him with a chance to
Shut her down.
well, actually, he's down by 3.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, he could
No,
shut
Yep, he can.
Yeah,
Yep.
I knew that, and then I didn't know that, and then I contradicted
I
myself.
was going to say,
all
he's
in
going to
my
strike
mind,
up. He can.
all in my mind
he can
before he
fill
even said
60.
anything. I was thinking about that stupid Andy Mills thing I just said. Now, picking up that spare by Jace was huge. He kept him with a 3-pin
Was
lead.
It did.
Yeah, without the opener. So what has Chad done on this? The 8, 6, 4.
He
So
left
had
a
split
left a
and-
chili 5-pin once
Yeah,
over there,
right.
so it's got to read.
Yeah, see, and he just
Yeah.
moved.
Yep.
All he did was just move in, and he didn't loft any. But you could see how close he was, to that left edge of the lane, setting it down. But he stayed soft with it.
I don't know if you watched him when he did his hand like this. Is he trying to fan it a hair? Just
Yeah. I was actually
not catch
watching
it?
both Chad and Ullman here a little bit coming down, those last few matches. And both of them very much were, people at home can't see this motion, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we're doing it in the booth.
Kind of staying underneath it and just trying to float the hand underneath around, but not trying to. They don't want it to change direction
right
too much
'Cause you
when it
catch
goes.
it. Yeah.
Right?
That one's better, but it's in.
I think he's okay with it. I'm sure you wanted to have that to shut him out, whatever,
Right.
but kind of got away with the other one in a
Jace
light
needs
hit.
2, right?
Yeah, he's going to have the
He
first
has to have
two.
a double.
Yeah. So
So
he got what he really needed to
The first
have done,
one,
which
the
is getting
double.
that first one.
Yes.
Yep. Making Jace have to get.
sure, now he doesn't pick it up. Did I ever tell you the story where he bowled at what was it called, Stardust, which is now Memory Lane?
Yeah.
In a Masters tournament, I think it was. One frame, Chad leaves a 4-7-10. Shoots at the 4-7, misses the 4, hits the 7, picked up the 10. 2 frames later, leaves a 6-7-10. Misses the 6, hits the 10, hits the 7. Picked up 7-10 twice, no spare. Okay, how's that?
That's pretty
Man,
good.
That was a
he
great
posts
shot.
that
Yeah, that is really good.
solid, posted.
Yep, and here it is. It's must have.
After the first must-have.
Yeah,
He
it's just,
throws it
it's just
like,
another must have.
He throws it like that. He's in a strike.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was.
You know how many times I told myself that today? If I throw that again,
Yeah,
I will strike.
How many times did you do that?
I did.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we're back here.
that was pretty ice water.
It really was.
Yeah, like you said, posted. I mean, his balance, everything.
Yes.
That was a really good shot.
Oh, that was to the right. I thought
Knocking over.
Oh,
it was to the right.
Yeah, it was. Yep, he got it right early. Overreacted a bit.
And I talked to
Chad lucks out again.
I talked to Endersby about this stuff too. That track was so burnt yesterday that if you missed right, it hooked early.
Yeah.
And just went dead left. And that's what he did. He just got it a little bit to the right and hit the traffic, and to the left it goes.
Good tournament, Jace. Nothing
a
wrong
great
with
tournament.
Yeah, fantastic tournament, Jace.
nothing wrong with fourth place and Enbo and Chad. So if you look back in the game there, the chop of the 3-6-10. Leaving it was one thing. He didn't leave a split, so he broke it up. But chopping it 3 off to 6-10 by what, an inch and a half? You got it if you know.
Yeah.
And then the 6 count you spared, but if he doesn't throw the 6 on the 9 counts in there, it's a little bit closer game too.
Yeah, great tournament, Jace.
Very
bet.
good.
Yeah, I mean, you were looking through the stats and everything, and that, and he didn't have anything for last year or
No.
whatever. But he's made quite an impression this year. I mean,
Absolutely. I was talking about that.
Yeah, he's done some really good things throughout the course of the
Here are
first part of.
here are stats
Yeah.
for this year, and after he's bowled 4 tournaments, he's 11th in
Yeah, so
points.
he's just outside of the All-Star
Well, now
team.
he's in there now.
And now he's in, yeah.
Yeah, because he's fourth place. He just got 19
So-
points, putting up to
And a
49.
great, if he didn't have any, tournaments last year, what a great start to a Rookie of the Year campaign,
Probably one of the best.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Well, you know who's
So-
the best rookie of the year?
Me.
No, I can't tell you that.
Okay. I tried.
One rookie of the year set the all-time standards for.
It was a Jeremy?
Jeremy Steffen.
Oh, yeah, he won his first tournament he bowled.
First two.
First two.
First two?
He went back
3 in the year.
He went back to back. Isn't he on? Is he on your back to back?
No, I don't think he won them back to back.
Well then, Pat Humphrey and Charles Hayes lied to me.
I mean, he could have won them back to back. I'm going to verify that.
Well, I'd rather just call them liars.
Exactly. Yeah.
I knew that he won his first one.
He won the first one ever at Earl Brown.
Earl Brown. Let's go back there. Oh,
We could book.
darn it.
I got to find a page. I got so much stuff in this.
I don't even know you would have to put down a pattern at Earl Brown. I think we could.
Well, the parking lot. I thought I heard where that building was sold.
Doyle's is still available.
No,
Building's still
no.
there?
No, I don't know. Well, I'm not sure.
What's the one in?
So Josh, right away,
Wait.
is looking at Loft.
Yeah,
he
I
was
know.
lofting.
He was doing it down there. He had done it
He's
the last
looking at
couple
Loft,
games.
Right there in that first shot. I never shared our new.
No, Jeremy won in
Posted it.
July
That was
and then
dumb.
September of 2000, and then midway of 01. So not back to back.
You didn't share what? What are you sharing?
I shared the video because I hadn't yet, which is odd of me. I usually
Oh.
try to get everybody to watch it right away, but I got busy.
Oh.
I got busy. This
gonna-
is a tough place to run a tournament.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Jace. Thank you. Good bowling, man.
Good tournament, man. Good tournament, Jace.
Turns out that people kept asking me for pops and change and lane
Some
calls
soda
and-
pops.
Yeah,
You got any more of that soda pops?
I do. But everybody recognizes me when they come in and they ask me
a good
stuff.
thing.
It is. They ask me stuff.
There's the pin down on lane 8.
Yeah.
Can you get that? Hey,
I got some Deadwood
the
today.
score is over here and messed up. Whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have you know I cleared my own deadwood today.
Hey, thank you.
All right.
Thank
I
you.
put that in the rules, by the way.
I love
I
it, yeah.
updated the rules.
To
Put
clear your
everything
own
into there.
deadwood?
Yeah.
Clear your own deadwood. There are a couple other things I added. Different wording and things like that, whatever.
It wasn't even
Left
my
it.
deadwood. I cleared somebody else's. Just so I didn't have to wait.
Exactly, yeah. So that was about 6-0.
And soft with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's being
And it
super
got down, yeah.
soft with it.
And it got down the lane.
It's because of his. Clear them.
Oh, jeez.
So,
Re-rack
He's got it.
18 then.
Push that reset button
nah,
on 18.
Joe's got it. All right, never mind.
All right, well, that last one looked pretty good. So if I were you, I'd start on
Josh
the left
is
lane.
having
Oh, you
Chad
don't have a
start.
choice.
Yep.
We're back to what sound and feels normal.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. The higher seed telling
Yeah,
him there to
Chad's
go.
looking over there with Josh, say, hey, good luck. And Josh is doing something else, so he just kind of
Yeah, waves him off.
Josh had to collect his caboodle.
Yes.
The full kit and caboodle?
Yeah.
Where'd
got all
that
his-
saying ever?
Oh, kitten caboodle. I don't know, but I like
A little
it.
loftier, but
And-
Okay.
so soft still. And
So
it's
do you
compared to
want-
what we're going to see Josh,
So do you try to split the 8-9? Because that's what he just did there.
I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's a bad practice,
Yeah.
to engage in.
Yeah, but from 6-0, splitting the 8 and 9,
Right. Yeah.
I'm lucky to hit
Well-
the 9 into the 8.
What was his speed? There we go. So what's Chad's normal speed, right? Here, probably 16
Yeah, that's
and a half,
14.4.
right? 14.4. So he just moved into the oil. He's soft rolling it through there.
That's
Soft
okay.
release, hitting it.
That's what I talk about.
Yeah.
That him and David Langer are the
Yeah.
two guys who can adjust their speed.
Yeah. And there's the
That's
opposite,
pretty-
but successful, for sure. That's really good.
That's
golf.
impressive.
16.5.
Yeah. So there's the other way to attack it.
That's
And
impressive.
we watch Jace do it here, but different pair too. Who
Yeah.
knows
Yeah.
what this is? But Josh has been doing this for a while. This is how he's been attacking him, coming down the stretch.
Right.
And I'm not sure what ball he's using now, but he used the phase 2 for a lot of the day. I know that.
Yeah.
Crossing him one time and next to him a couple other times. But so you have an idea what ball he has?
He's throwing in his algorithm and subtracting the 4,
Right.
and now he found his spot.
Okay.
He's pretty deliberate with
Oh, he
Oh,
definitely is.
figuring out where he's
Yeah.
going. Looks like an IQ tour almost.
Wow. It's impressive to get the ball past the arrows
Yeah.
Wow.
and,
that was impressive.
and to get it down lane without it. Yeah, it's
And it just needed a trip forward to strike, whatever.
Right.
But so does he move like another half a board left and do that? Did look like
knowing
an
him,
IQ.
probably
Yeah,
a
about
full board.
99%. That's
I don't know what he
IQ
has.
tour. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Josh's Achilles heel
Yep.
spear shooting, single
For
pin.
sure.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yes.
I mean, it's well televised.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
That's
That
good.
was good.
That is, but I mean,
That
he's
was
got to
good.
go from coming around it or whatever to throwing it straight, and he's not. David Langer is the best at doing that for using the same strike ball and that whatever. But it's a different motion. You're used to doing this, and you got to do that.
Meanwhile, to the right of us, you hear the waft of Zach
Yeah.
Andresen as well. So
Yeah.
just goes to show there's no one way.
No.
No.
A lot of ways to go at it based on who you are. That's a little more loft from Chad too. But I think that might have been a little footwork related.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He like
I'll tell you what, if I have footwork issues where I walk off and I'm doing that, I'm not getting 10 down in one shot. I'll tell you, and if they go down, it's not looking like that.
Right.
that would have been either a big 4 or a bucket.
Oh, yeah.
Because I would have
Yeah.
missed by one
I
way
would
or
have-
the other.
I would have just turned around, walked back, get the second ball
Exactly.
ready.
Yeah. The extra one you have on the rack and whatever that is. Okay, so that was a little off and harder on the right lane, probably because he can't get his deep.
And I think he lost his footing. It kind of looked like a
there's
bit,
that, too.
Yeah, see, that's.
Just soft.
Yep. And that's what gets it to shape, right?
Yeah, well,
I mean, or you got to have the higher rev rate then to be able to head loft it then and get it to shape. And it is funny to be talking about Chad not having the higher
speed.
rev rate
I rev
in the match, right?
Yeah. And then wait till Zach comes up.
Right. And
Yeah.
I mean, this is where we're getting at. We're
And-
used to Chad dominating that part of the game. We always talked about Bob,
Yes.
Lumpy, Chad, guys that can get left. Brady, shape it when others can't.
Yeah.
There's a new generation.
Oh yeah.
And then I tried to keep up with these guys.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the only thing that troubles me with people that try to loft for the most part. It's a super high accuracy, and
Yep.
Yes.
you need to be high repetitive with it, you know.
Well, you got to loft it to the same spot too. You
Same
can't-
speed, same
Yeah.
launch angle, same. It's like hitting a golf ball now. It's not, you know, you're trying to get something in the air to land with touch.
I was just going to say that. So when you get it to land, whatever touch you have when you let go of it, if you have a little side turn, it's going to hook right away. Or if you don't, it's going to skid.
Right.
Or it's going to go right to the pocket. But it's hard to repeat that all the time that far out. A little loft over the arrows is one thing where you just want to
for
get out on
sure.
the lane.
Uh-oh.
And I mean, that's a split, and no splits are easy, but yeah, that's what we were touching on.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he's got an open after 3, and Chad starts out with the turkey.
That's
Advantage Chad, but
yeah.
hey.
Yep.
So
Tough hill to climb.
we've talked about this before, Jason, and when I watched Chad shortened his approach on 17
to match.
to match what he has on 18, and you're not a fan of that. You have told in the past, like, take your whole approach. Why make
Yep.
yourself?
Yep.
And it's interesting to see a guy of his caliber do it.
But that's why it's his caliber.
Right.
I mean, I guess when I say it to a lot of people, they're not Chad.
Fair enough.
yeah.
Fair enough.
Yep. That would be, you know, and it's not, but it's along the equivalent of like, hey, EJ,
Right.
maybe you should play them the same. You know, EJ would probably say, hey, Jason, maybe you should shut up. You know, mind your own business.
Stay in your own lane.
Yeah.
That's our
Watch your own
tagline.
bobber.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. No, Chad obviously is, he's so good. Well, I've told the story many times of the computer chip in the ball and him coming in and doing 3 different releases and having almost no deviation between the shots.
With all his A, B, C
With
release.
A, B, and C
Yeah.
release. Like all of
Right.
his A's were the same, all of his B's were the same. So he's in that caliber of those guys that can, you know,
Well, he
in
hasn't
our
won-
area, it's a McNeil and him and a lump, and McNeil's gone. But I mean, it was
Yeah,
special
right.
talents, Bach, Nelson, and Langer. And
Before
Stearns.
that, it was East
know,
Lanto.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
guys that were a step ahead of everybody else at that point.
There's something you see when you get this old. You got to have some glasses
This is
to
to take
take
the
care of the tape.
Does he need a flashlight?
I can't see where the seams start between the pieces. Let me grab them cheaters. Now I see it.
Now, if he would throw the ball with the glasses on.
No. So he was telling a story about the trios. Oh yeah. So are the mics.
What was that?
Holman goes, I sure hope the cameras are working so everybody can see this geriatric up here trying to take out and put in some tape.
Exactly, yeah. We discussed it.
But and here it's probably all just a ploy for some time, right?
Right.
We just
Michael
discussed
Hogan?
that before we set out with Norm Duke, you know.
Well, yeah.
And then the Michael Hogan Jr. with Matt McNeil. you know.
Yeah, he's trying to figure out how to shoot a 3.610. I don't.
And not chop it like
Right.
he did earlier. Yep.
He kind of shot it from
Well,
the
that
right.
worked.
Yeah, like you
See,
said, not quite as far right.
No,
but he
no, that's
definitely
what it
was
It's straighter.
That worked.
hard and straight.
So he told me a story about Bach showing up for the trios,
Yes.
the Do You Bowl trios.
I was there.
Throws 3-4 shots and goes, hold on a minute. And goes and grabs his glasses and then puts on for the rest of the day. Yep.
Yes, I saw him have
So
them
he's
on.
Hold
been,
on.
Yeah, so he's been bowling with him lately and that. So yeah, we're getting old.
And how'd they do?
They did well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See that one? Yeah.
Read earlier, so
I was going to say softer, but it's only a
I think it's like he
0.05,
came around and
right?
got it out too soon or something. I was trying to like lean I could just watch the monitor, but I was
do
trying
that
to
so
lean
often,
around
too.
him, and I couldn't see where it hit.
2. All right. Or vice
I-
versa, when I had to read the flag that's hidden behind the speaker over there, and you can't read Olman, but standing here, I can read it just fine.
Exactly. Yeah, and who's next? Ullman. You can't see it in the monitor, but you can see it up. Or you can't see it up there, but you can see it in the monitor.
Right.
That'd be Stearns, by the way.
Yep. Yep.
So I have that picture you sent me, you know, with the locker. I think, but I cropped it out and I took Sylvester and Savoy out of it.
So it was just the
I
Hall
just
of
had the
Famers?
Hall of
Yeah, yeah.
Famers in there. So I got that photo.
Yeah, that's a cool photo.
Yeah, it really was. You sent it to me. I liked it.
Hey, the shot Payne Manhart was
It is good.
pretty good too.
Yeah,
That's a good shot.
It's not
Josh.
anywhere near as good as, but I
Just got to be paint shot Manhart.
I paid a little tribute to the on-track family as well. I sent
Yes, I
this,
saw that. I noticed that myself.
I sent this to Carl and Scott and Darren, but I've got
nice.
the Gary Arnson, Carl
Yep.
Fitek, Scott Pohl, Darren Hansen, and Jeff Lynn banners all together, which
I noticed
is,
that.
yeah,
Yep.
it's definitely kind of the on-track family right there of it.
And why you're bringing that up, Jace, is because Gary Arnson just passed away
He did, yeah.
like 3 weeks ago now. I don't
yeah,
remember.
it sounds about
And he had
right.
some complications from heart surgery. I don't know
Yep.
the whole story.
Yeah, I don't know all of it,
But he was
yeah, he
obviously a
had
fixture in the bowling
complications from
world.
what should have been kind of an easy bypass. Well, I shouldn't say easy. Nothing's easy, but oh boy! Wow! All right.
So
Well, there
is he
you go.
hitting the pine down there? Because that's past the maple or whatever.
Yeah,
that is.
right. Yeah, that's impressive to do
Yes.
that. Yeah. But yeah, Gary, you know, he went in for bypass surgery and never made it out.
That was
Yeah.
I think, just a typical standard surgery. Even though every time you go
Yeah.
to surgery, there's always an issue. Something could happen.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
obviously it did. So
Yeah.
he was a fixture in the bowling world for a long time.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen him for, you know, I don't.
Oh, good
I'm not,
shot.
I wasn't down at Southtown, and I
Yeah.
don't see him. He doesn't bowl, so I don't see him anywhere. So I hadn't seen him for quite a long time.
We
But,
actually, they were out at USBC tournament when we were. So Gary, Carl, Deb, and them,
okay.
all of a sudden I turn around and they're all standing behind us when the locker guys are bowling our doubles and singles.
Oh, okay.
So I talked with them then. That was the last time I had a chance to talk to them.
Speaking of the USBC, do you know that next year in Baton Rouge will be my 50th USBC tournament?
Congratulations.
Consecutive?
No, because I went
impressive.
in
It's still impressive, but-
1974, and I averaged like 160. whatever 1440 is.
Right.
Okay, and then I didn't go in 75 because why am I going? Because I was no good. And then we went in 1976, which was Oklahoma City, and the reason we went there is because in order to get a spot for 77 in Reno, you had to have a spot before.
Okay.
And I was going to be 21, and when we went in Reno, so then I've been there ever once since. And John Eastwood had his 50th.
Chad.
The 3-6-10 chop.
Second time.
Yep.
Well, second time he's missed the 3-6-10.
But he
In
picked
the-
it up
in the
last
step
time from
ladder.
that same spot.
Yeah.
But John East had his 50th last year, and John's are consecutive.
Oh, well, yeah, 50
And-
consecutive, that's cool.
And Sam kept his streak alive
By
because he
going
bowled
just last year with
Greenie, right?
with Gary Green, because
Yep.
Gary had back surgery, and
Sam had his
Sam
issues.
had
Yep.
so Sam had bone marrow transplant. Okay,
Yeah.
He had issues coming like last November. Went in, had to go through chemo and all that stuff. Was in the hospital 35 days over Christmas,
Yeah.
New Year's. And then was out for a while. Went to watch his shot.
Yeah,
So
see,
that one
wow.
hooked as soon as it hit the lane.
Yeah.
And there's the, like, again with the loft, like, okay, did I circle it more
Yeah,
when
I
I
think
let
you
go of
did.
it, right? And then as soon as it hits, it's going to go sideways, right?
Or did you stay behind it and then it went straight to the right?
Yeah. And that's why the super high talented bowlers can make that look like normal.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Robert
it
Smith.
takes a lot of talent and practice to do that.
Robert Smith did that way before Belmo did.
Oh,
with his
yeah.
thumb in the ball.
Oh boy. Okay.
Good thing they're hooking the mid lane.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Robert Smith was easily one of the first, and then it's not like he's had a good career, and I don't mean if look, Brian Valenta, if you're listening, no disrespect, because you're probably one of the best at lofting the lanes that there is, you know. But it was kind of more of one of the few tricks he had was just
Sure.
being a super good, like, and then he did it at like a U.S. Open or one of those where it like just became so brutal.
Yep.
Where his ability to hit the lane at 40 feet,
Yeah.
like, meant the difference. Because he was only trying to control 20 feet of reaction.
Right.
But he was amazing at repeating that.
Yes.
I'll tell you, Marshall Kent is also very
Yes,
good.
he is. Yeah.
Very good.
I'm
Marshall
amazed.
is very good at that.
I'm amazed at that loft and then snap the 10 out.
Oh, yeah.
I want to finish the story about Sam.
Yeah.
before I
Yeah,
forget it. So when he went through all that chemo to get rid of all the bone marrow, and then he was out of the hospital. That was like 37 days over Christmas, New Year's. And then he was out for 3-4 weeks, and then they found a bone marrow donor to be the match. Then he had to go back in, do some more chemo to get rid of anything else that grew back. Then he had the bone marrow transplant. He was for like another 30-40 days. He was confined in his home for most of it. And then he starts bowling again. He bowls the USBC. And then he comes out and he bowls and he wins the freaking MSC tournament.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, the guy is just totally amazing. So,
Slid into the cap.
Slid into the capping again. That's what caused it. Yep.
oh, that's what he said?
Yep.
Yep.
Slid into the capping again.
Because the
Back
one
up a
those
little bit.
those follow lights are just a hair back off the.
Oh, Marshall would have just kicked it.
Yeah, our caps are.
Yeah, well,
Again,
Marshall
people
Holman.
at home.
Marshall Holman would have got
6
it out of
inches
the
away
way.
from
He
him.
would have just kicked the thing.
Marshall.
Rob Shaver did that one time. Kicked that, and then he left the 10 pin, took his shoe off, and threw at the 10 pin. That's what I had to put up with way back, Jason.
Oh boy.
That was a really good
That
shot.
was so nice off his hand.
I heard
soft.
Roman say over there, get lucky, but to me, I guess I thought he got, just like you said, Corby, I thought that was nice, soft, and floaty.
Yeah,
you
it
know?
was.
Yeah.
So he's 6th arrow.
You know what? It's
this
not
time
a
of the day.
it's not an IQ. He's throwing that ball you have up here to in the Ion Pro.
Ion Pro, yeah.
He was wiping
Which
it off.
is
and
basically, I honestly don't have one, but if you listen to anything that SBI says, right in between IQ Tour and Phase 2. So it bridges the gap between the two benchmark balls we have, if you will.
He needs this one to stay 5 pins ahead in the match.
oh boy.
It's too far right.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
That took a left turn when it hit the lane.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
and
like
we'll just go back to the accuracy, which doesn't just mean location, but consistency of release, speed, everything.
yeah.
Maybe this is why.
I'm not sure he's got it dialed in 100%, but he's staying ahead of Chad by doing it.
Right.
Obviously, that was lucky, crossover, whatever, but maybe this is why he did not want to finish on that right lane.
Yeah.
We talked about he wanted more room left. And so he can
shut him out.
He can shut him out.
He'll shut him out.
Double
Yep.
and 6.
Yep.
So let's see, 8, 6, 4. So the last 3 strikes on this lane were solid ones.
Move deeper. Yeah, he moved deeper. I'm going to assume in an attempt to not be able to get it that far right then. Like he
Might
just-
be,
Yeah, he
yeah.
moved like the whole zone in just a little bit.
He snapped that 10 out like it was butter, or whatever they say, however you pronounce
That was
it.
an extremely good shot.
It really was.
I mean, if everything that I think I saw happen, that's an incredibly good move too.
Yeah.
We might see.
Because that's a big chunk in a pretty good move.
We might see an all lofting championship match.
Yeah.
Well, if he throws it like that again, he's moving on.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Oh, go.
Well, there's Chad's opening. It wasn't like that.
Like we talked about, it is so hard. This happened earlier to me today, so it moved over a little bit.
Yep.
He could have this reset
Yes.
if he wanted to. It's not going to matter, I don't think, on the pin count.
Not
But anyway,
really.
he could have that reset. anybody's at home wondering if it's off spot, and if the machine does it, you can
Yep.
put it back on.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this is where the string pin machines
Wouldn't have it.
would it ever happen like that?
Nope, would never happen.
Never happens.
Yep. I'm going to be a regular member of the traveling league here, and we get to go to the lovely city of Litchfield this year. And I bowled high school league in Litchfield, but 8-lane center, and him and I have talked a few times. He put in the certified string pin setters,
Certified
so
ones, then.
I will get to go bowl on those when
Okay.
our league goes there, and
Well, that'll be.
I will report back.
We need to know. I bowled on them at
I
Park
can't wait to
Tavern,
go see what they're like.
But the shot was bad, whatever. But I don't, they're not certified.
Yep.
Like
No.
at Park Tavern. Whatever, so.
Uh-oh, there it is again.
Wow.
He strikes every time he kicks that gutter cap.
Well,
Great.
so he stops at the right spot. So if he doesn't hit that and posts it, he's gonna leave it 10 pin. If he kicks it and falls off, he'll carry it. We'll see what happens. There's 10, 8,
Must have
6.
again.
So he left a 3, 6, 10 once. Yeah,
It's the must-have after the first
It's
must-have.
the next must
Yeah.
have.
So how many steps does he take when he gets in front of his ball? Does he take like the 2.5 or whatever?
3.
Does he do
I
the shuffle
think.
step?
Yeah. There's a shuffle in there. Wow.
Unbelievable.
Oh. Yeah. Just kick the gutter cap again.
You need 3.
Yep.
No, you need more than that.
Did he?
You don't need more.
He grabbed some plastic. He's not going
He's
to be
gonna try-
dumb.
he's
Yep.
gonna
He's
hit the
going up the
3-pin
middle.
thing, so.
Yep. Going to take her right up the middle for a bunch and move on. Smart move. Great
230,
game.
220.
230,
That was a really
223.
good match.
Was it ever?
A lot of stuff happening
Yeah.
there. Chopped the 3-6 for Chad, and the crossover by Josh, even though he threw a couple of good ones.
Well, and the crossover kept the drama going.
Yeah, it really did.
That
Yeah.
led into him having a chance. So but I just don't. I mean, look again, super impressive by Josh. He's developed a loft game that's pretty darn good.
Yes.
But it's not quite, perfected. Let's say. Obviously, it's
No, because then when you loft, you hit up on the ball, and then it can change direction
Yeah.
one way or the other. Where Chad was just, especially on the left lane, was just kind of letting it go, and it's smooth rolling.
Chad talks a lot too. When they get nasty like this, he tries to even be softer
Less,
with it.
yes.
And I think
Makes sense.
I think that's a pretty good concept to keep in mind for those at home, right? When they get tighter and they're harder, it's not about trying to have more hook to open them up. Sometimes less
Less is
just
more.
being controlled.
Yeah.
And this is where the two-handers get into urethane, and that's why they use it. And not just two-handers, I guess, but higher rev rate
High
guys.
rev rate guys, yes.
Even when you have a ton of oil and a tighter pattern, they're still going to pull that out to just control motion. So,
So
great tournament by Josh, though.
another good one. He's
He's
third
definitely
place.
proving himself to be
was-
somebody to be, reckoned with out here.
He was our last chance to have somebody win back-to-back titles.
Yep.
And a little trivia: which one of these bowlers has never won here at Southway?
I just have to say Chad for some reason because it seems fitting. The oldest one.
Well,
Has
being
gone
that
the
Zach
longest.
won 2 years ago here, and
See?
Chad has not
There
won
you go.
here at Southway.
There you go. It's amazing how much when you're all of it.
Split?
No. Oh, okay.
I'll be right back. So while they're warming up here, you want to move the camera over to?
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yep.
Jason, question for you. Are you guys not doing the banners anymore
What do you mean?
on the ceiling?
No, we do the banners. They're there.
Yeah, no, but are you guys still making them?
Yes.
Where's Josh's?
Well, it takes months to get them done. Ask Williams where his is. He won last year. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. They don't. Yeah, they
Was
don't.
it 2 years ago?
They don't come fast. And I mean, I try, but
yeah, no.
the dude that makes them has got 2 full-time jobs, and
Makes sense.
Yeah, it takes a bit to get them. We still. Yeah.
You guys-
actually, Holmes and Williams went in they both won. If it was 2 years ago, I thought it was last year, but they both went into production like this last week. We hope they're going to be up for the doubles event. And then I'm also hoping with that Matt's Hall of Fame one is done. Because I tried to put a rush on that to get it in for the Hall of Fame bit. No, it definitely isn't just like a month or so.
Yeah. I just didn't know if you guys do them still.
We do, absolutely. It takes a bit to get them done.
Well, obviously, yeah. So is that the same way as those banners over there too?
Nope. That's done by a whole different company. That's for our local Times Nahant tournament that we run. Vernix Pepsi makes those. They get done within a couple of weeks. That's just a whole...
So where's the 2024 one?
I haven't turned it in yet.
No.
I usually get it done just before the tournament is.
Well, I suppose it would be.
Yeah, we had Brandon won this last year, so... Plus, I usually try to do it when I can take any that have deceased and put them onto the deceased banner to make room, so I don't have to try and spread the banners outside of that area there if I can. So.
Well, yeah, for sure.
And multiple champions help change that too.
I'm gonna say, when did you guys start that tournament?
That tournament is 55, 6, something like that, years back. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well before me.
Yeah, same.
So, Matt, I asked Jason a little trivia question.
Yeah.
Which one of these two bowlers has not won here at Southway?
Neither. Chad said he's won here before. Someone asked him. He said, yeah, he's won here. He may be lying to us.
So let me look it up again.
I mean, he is old.
I just looked it up. But there's so many I had to go through.
Well, yeah.
Let's verify this or no.
It may not be in this. Because what did they have? Yeah. May not be at Southway or whatever it was before. Granite Bowl? Was there two Granite Bowls? Granite Bowl South and Granite Bowl?
There were two Granite Bowls.
So maybe he's misremembering. That could be, because he's
misremembering.
He's got a... Hey.
He won at Great River Bowl in Sartell.
I know. I saw. But you said... This afternoon you said you had won here before. I don't know.
Nope.
Old people. You can't trust them. Granite.
Great River Bowl in 04. That's Sartell. It's not St. Cloud.
Careful. Those are our cameras. You're shaking everything up.
Well, that, I'm talking CBA. Nope.
No.
So, to answer my question,
Chad.
Exactly. Oh, that we know. Yeah, exactly.
See.
Anyway, Zach won here 2 years ago.
Right.
For his first CBA title. And then the second one just was a few months ago. What was it, Cedarville?
Yes.
Where did he? Is that where it was? He just won.
If it was a couple months ago, it was Cedarville, right? Because we were just at Sunray.
Well, Josh won at Sunray.
Right. So it was the month before that would have been Cedarville.
No, Flaherty's. He won at Flaherty. He won at Flaherty's.
So Flaherty's.
Yep. It's all right here in the CBA recap booklet. This is yours, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
But I'll email it to you also. Along with the Hall of Fame. I sent you the Hall of Fame book.
Yep.
You can take this book and bring it to the doubles.
Yes.
You know, so it's all whatever. I also have in here, I don't know if you guys know this, that for a couple of years I had a director's award that I gave out.
No way.
Yeah. For the two people who are high up in the bowling as far as being really good and giving back to the game. So 2 years in a row I had Sam and Clark have won the CBA Directors Award. Only 2 people have ever won that. Just discussing all kinds of stuff. And so this is nowhere else right now but in this book.
I love it.
Or online, or on email that I sent you.
No offense, but no, Dawson doesn't need to bowl these because I don't need to have to get my brains beat in by another 19-year-old. All right.
Yeah, well, get used to it.
He's got better things to do, I think.
Probably not, really.
No. All right, fine. Come out and beat our brains in.
I see Zach's over there paying attention, like see what he's going to do. Line. Oh no, he's texting.
Yeah.
You talking Dawson Peterson?
Yeah. No. Dawson Unrath.
Unrath?
Unrath.
He already whoops everybody here.
Well, I know. He won. Well, that's in Moorhead. He has to go a little further south.
Where is Lucas Herzrud today? He thought he would come down and bowl. I'm not sure what else is going on, and if he's in college somewhere and can't get back, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know. Wasn't sure if I didn't think he liked it because he was walking away, but sometimes he walks away and he solid striking and he shakes his hand
Right.
at it and whatever, you know. So.
Like when he kicks the gutter cap 3 or 4 times in a row to win.
And walks it off like he just threw the worst shot of his career. Oh, all of them? I don't know why I was concerned.
Well, I thought it might hook, but no.
Looked great. It's my ball reaction all you did.
Like Todd Savoy says, that ball looked good till it left your hand. I get to see Todd Saturday, Costa Rica.
I've told a few team members, like, everything looked good until you took your first step.
That's another, exactly.
Did you see Trey's reply? Did anybody see Trey replied?
Yeah,
Okay.
about
Wouldn't
not
be able
knowing.
to be here and that,
Yeah.
but didn't know and that. Yeah.
Oh!
Hey, there's the second messenger of today.
I told you them pins
Per
are
Chad.
loosening up. Finally, 1 month in and these pins are starting to fly.
Okay.
Oh, Joe, did you see Joe's response? Lucas is bowling for St. Ambrose this weekend.
Oh, okay.
So he's got better things to do.
Hey, Joe, thanks for watching.
Yeah, no kidding. He runs a damn fine Gibba.
Yes, he does.
Gibba, is that what they call it, the Gibba?
G-I-B-A.
I know, did they say that to the Gibba?
I've heard people say it.
Okay.
I will.
It may be me.
Well, okay. Well, I didn't know, if there's sometimes people call different things.
No, I have actually heard people, but they may be making it up just as much. But.
Well, I mean, it makes sense you'd call it that.
Right. There's a fight going to happen down there between kids.
Better not. Good shot.
So, when was the last tournament?
No, we won't all have to.
When was the last tournament you saw
They're just
Zach
chirping
using
at each
something
other.
besides urethane?
Whatever.
When was the last tournament that you saw Zach bowl when he wasn't using urethane at any time, besides the first game or so?
That's a really good question. Although I think at Flirters, I don't think he was throwing
Okay,
urethane.
I didn't really watch a lot of that, so.
Just let my kids at home go down and give them a look.
Roll?
I think he thought that was a 10 pin. He didn't look like he thought he got out of that very good.
Here's what's really kind of weird. I'm not sure what Chad's thinking, but I'm looking at just going, Chad's the guy who hooks the ball and all the revs and all. He's like rev challenged in this match.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, Joe, he's pretty good. Zach's pretty good.
Yeah. I'd say.
It doesn't surprise me he was high qualifier for you guys either. Chad's getting old. You would have beat him, Lucas.
I don't get to see all those.
I mean, Lucas, your dad isn't scared of Chad. Why are you?
There is that.
Good one.
Get there. right.
Snapped the 10 out that time.
Well, it appears that
Oh, really?
Team Loft
A lot of bowling
is
this weekend,
a little
Chad.
ahead of Team Soft.
Not many steps, he
A
said.
team you don't really want to be a part of is Team Soft.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Team Loft is beating Team Soft.
Oh.
That just might be me, though.
Even though he's got a turkey up there and he's throwing the ball really well and he's striking, he can't let up.
No.
No, that's you can't rest on Chad.
No, not
Blood in
at
the
all.
water. All that chat.
And he's not going to either. He's focused.
No,
He knows for sure that.
Whack.
Zach's just continuing.
And then he
Lean on
carries
it.
that.
He's just continuing to get better.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
I
the
started-
confidence grows and his game continues to improve. He keeps practicing. He does all the right things, at least so far.
Well, I mean, you bowl for Junior Team USA. You're seeing stuff that
Yep.
we'll never see. Or maybe we see it all the time. And you just
We don't know
just
what to
don't
do.
know.
Yeah.
I remember when he kind of first came out, he's bowling a Masters, the CBA Masters, and he made the cut. And I remember we didn't know how old he was, and Mark Kiko chimed in and said, "Oh, he's only 16," and he had, so
Yep.
been around for 3-4 years now. And like I always said, he's the best two-hander that we've seen around here. And Jace Goedel is getting really good, but
Yeah, he
That
set
one
that
set him short.
Yep.
Jace Goedel is getting really good, and rightly so. He's just done. Zach has just done more, and still,
Oh, yeah.
to me, it just looks a bit more solid. Nothing against Jace. He bowled very, very well
yeah.
today.
He had a great
and,
tournament.
And probably,
Fantastic.
I mean, you got to go through Chad. You got to go through Chad to win.
It's unreal.
Chad Brady, you got to go through those guys to win.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to beat him for my first title, so.
Yeah.
All right, good spin. That was choppable, so
Oh,
that's a good
100%.
cover. Chad, I never had to beat Chad. He kept rolling over for me because he knew he could give me the 30 bonus and it wouldn't matter. So I don't know that I've ever lost to him, but I don't know that I ever beat him.
Well, that's a good statement right there.
You don't have a chance. I'll just roll over
Yeah.
here.
Well, you're not going to catch me in the long run. Take these 30. You need them.
Okay.
Pretty good shot.
A little extra loft.
Pretty good
or
shot.
Whatever. Very under control loft right there.
Don't look now.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's objects in the mirror. He's clear, and there's only one spare part. So
Yes.
it is definitely not over. He's doing the Owatonna math. Moving his feet over.
Yeah, and then up like 4 steps and take
Yeah,
the
make
same.
sure his big
like you
toe's
said.
on the right
Yeah,
board.
take it. Let's see. 1, 2, like
A little
3 and a
stutter in there.
stutter. Yeah.
Oh,
And then throw it
that
like
butter.
that. I know
he
he
was so soft with that too.
He didn't
It
seem like
had
he
a little
liked
bounce. He
it.
was so soft with that. It was so good.
You can't see from this direction. I could look at the monitor,
very
but I'm
wide.
trying to look up here. I'm watching you, and I couldn't really tell. All right, so now we're within 10 pins.
Yeah, it's a match.
Yeah, so
It
Zach
looked like it might not be right away, but it's a match.
needs to, you can't just spare out and win. You're gonna have to have a double along the way or more to win.
And watch your bracelets or that.
It's just unreal.
And it doesn't
it's
even
unfair.
it doesn't even not
honestly.
think about slapping that 10. It
Right.
just angrily
I would have
knocks
I would
it.
have gently placed that
Yeah.
6 pin in the ditch, and
Yeah.
it's almost like he plays here.
This is like with that Todd and Gary and Sam, set it and forget it.
Yeah.
They say that to me when I kind of get lined up when I'm throwing it straight and hard. This is not straight and hard. No. But it's almost set it and forget it.
Yeah.
That goes back to the
Ronco
the
food.
Ronco thing, yeah.
The Ronco food processor. The only reason I know
Easy
that
bake oven.
No,
Easy bake oven.
No. Well, that too, but it was the turkey roast or
Yeah.
whatever.
Two different balls.
Wow.
Okay, the half 10.
Yeah.
Two different
I wonder if that
balls.
was a move off the one that he threw last time on there, where he obviously didn't throw it very well. But sometimes you don't throw very well. You make a move off of that because you think, oh, maybe it is hooking earlier or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he just got to pick it up and.
Yeah.
It's a V-bow.
I'm just a little surprised just because like he usually slaps out half tens.
Right.
You know, so it's a little surprised he didn't have any love coming his way.
He's surprised too.
He's sitting there, what the hell?
Brooke's still here, by the way. Is she here cheering him on? I don't see her at all.
Yeah, she's right there.
She's
still
on
here.
there.
She's got a blanket on.
Wrapped in a blanket.
I'm not surprised. It's a little chilly here.
Uh-oh.
No way.
God, is that easy to do?
Oh boy.
That's a big mistake.
Yeah.
All
He
it takes
knows
is,
it, I mean,
all it takes is to read early on those spare times, and then
Oh,
you're done.
Look at that. He missed it on the left, like you said. I didn't bowl long enough to miss him on the left. They still skidded to the right for me. Okay, well, that was obviously
Yeah.
a big mistake. He knows
Of
it.
course, yeah.
And Chad, who he doesn't have 41 titles for no reason,
Yeah.
he's going to go up here and throw two really good shots.
I'm gonna apply the pressure.
Yes.
You mentioned blood in the water,
Yep.
right? I mean,
He,
that's,
now that he knows he hasn't won in St. Cloud before,
Oh, spinaroo.
I didn't think that had a chance at
He
the
didn't
10
think
pin,
so
to be
either.
honest. Because you were right, Spinaroo, he got this way with it. I was just expecting it to go a little too long. and
Yep.
Just labor getting there, but I slapped the 10 out. That's all he needed.
I would have left the 5-10.
Throw the 7 in for me.
Well, at the Senior Masters, I almost left the 5-7-10, but I left the 5-10, then I picked it up.
Nice.
And John Holmes left 3 5-10s, picked up one of them.
23 and 24 garnered 2 lilies on
Yeah.
Tuesday night scratch league. So,
Oh, perfect.
yeah,
I'm glad I started there today.
they're hot.
This is a huge strike here
Big
to
time.
put all that pressure on for the 9th frame.
Soft.
Oh.
He was
And then
so
snap
soft with
that
that.
10 out,
Absolutely.
whatever.
Yeah.
5
That's
bagger.
impressive. Anytime he says
Wow.
he's going to get soft with it like that, it looks pretty good. And the one before.
Okay, 255 max to 235 max. Zach absolutely has to double, if not turkey.
He needs them all.
He
and
needs
he needs help.
a turkey in there,
Yeah.
and then he hopes that Chad does not get that first one.
Yeah. No, he needs them all and he needs help. There's
so
the start.
good.
No.
But that's he has trouble on that lane.
No.
So
It's, his ball reaction at 16 is unreal. Unreal.
okay, so obviously he has to have a double here in 10th. This will be the highest scored match of the day, and it's the last one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Any questions?
No,
That doesn't mean anything.
no, that's
What's
that's just
crazy-
it. He has to have them all. And then
Actually, and pin count comes into play too. So
personnel.
yeah, well, pin count certainly comes into play because if he gets all of them and Chad gets 9 first ball, it's over. Isn't that right? Did I figure that out correctly?
so 35.
He could have 235, and he'd have 234 if he goes 9 spare strike, right?
Well, actually, if he punches out, if he goes 9 spare strike, it's 35, isn't it?
No, 34.
34, 34.
Oh, you're right.
I had it.
You had it.
That's my Northeast Minneapolis Edison
I'm
High
from
School math.
Kirkhoven. I'm from Kirkhoven.
Oh yeah, they're adding lockers in the secondary school at Kirkhoven now.
Probably not adding it at the right amount. They probably have the formula messed up.
Exactly.
You're probably getting paid too much, but I'm not going to say anything.
We don't have the order yet. The bid's due on Wednesday or Tuesday actually. That's for the secondary
not.
school. They're adding lockers in the elementary school. Also, I already did that project for the secondary school.
We need 300 lockers. There's only 100 people that go here.
Yeah, well, each
just
one
put
needs
'em in.
3.
They're tripling up. We need.
Okay. He obviously got away with that
Yeah.
one big time.
Well, and
This-
it's still the same. I mean, it was the one he needed
Yeah.
to force. But
He needs 10 here.
The
It's
must-have
huge.
after the must-have.
Yeah, after the must. You know what kind of ball he's using?
Vivo.
a black one.
It's a Vivo. Unreal.
Only has 2 holes in it too.
Yeah, missing a thumb.
A 2-hole ball. That's what he's using.
All right.
Good finish, Zach.
Here, as they say, here's a situation. Bull, strike to win, 9 to lose. Anything less than a strike is a lose. A loss. A lose, a loss.
A lose. A
Loser.
Non-winner.
Non-winner.
This is going to be in the pocket. He's going to throw it soft, or, it is soft at this point. And it's either going to carry the 10 or not.
I think he may have actually moved a little left on this too. Wow.
And just bury it. 42. 42 CBA titles for that young man.
One of these days, he's going to
He's
figure
got my
it
age.
Yeah, exactly.
out. One of these days, he'll figure this out.
Yeah, oh man.
Plastic up the middle like a smart guy. Get my points. There you go, Chad.
What stopped that from striking?
No chance of having anything happen. Chad, both times he had those matches at the end, grabs plastic, throws it right up the middle, does all the smart stuff.
No way. Peel.
Roll out.
No, you had a clean game per USBC.
You did.
Very, very impressive.
Yeah, that was actually a really good step ladder across the board. There was
Very much
a-
so.
Yeah, there was a lot of some really good stuff that kind of occurred through it. Watching the way the lanes broke down, the way they had to play them, the way they attacked them.
And
That was pretty entertaining.
You mentioned right away when Chad made the step ladder, hey, perfect spot. He's going to run the step ladder
What he wants.
again.
Yep.
That's what he
And
always
exactly
wants.
wants.
Yeah.
Because that way he didn't have to sit around. He just kept bowling. Whatever.
He loves that spot, no doubt. Yeah.
And I don't know how many times he's run the step ladder to win a title.
I bet it's more than 2.
So that's his 42nd CBA title and his first one in St. Cloud.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
I shouldn't have told him that.
Yeah. Now your little tidbit ain't worth it.
yeah.
Well, it still is. It was. We still talk about it, whatever. So next month, doubles at Mermaid.
Yep. 26,
And-
27.
26, I'm not going to be there, but Matt Payne is going to be inducted in
I'll
our
be
CBA
there.
Hall of Fame.
President Payne inducted into the Hall of Fame that evening after the qualifying.
Get your doubles pairing in the Jason.
Yeah, get it in right away. We do usually get fairly close to filling. We do have 32 lanes, so it's 64 to fill. So it's a little more, but it's still always a good thing to get it in because we do usually get the 48 to 50
Right, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
kind of entries. That's a 2-day event, so that's Saturday and Sunday, 26, 27.
I believe Sam Lanto, John East are going to be bowling as a doubles team.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That'll be
exactly.
good.
A couple
Nice.
of old Hall of Famers.
Yes.
Their average age, or their age is going to be, 133. That's up there, whatever. So anyway, you guys have fun, bowl well. I wish I could be there.
Yeah.
I'll give
We'll
you all
miss
kinds
ya.
of stuff. I got all these stats and whatever. I'll send you what that you need. You got stuff to talk about. If you need somebody to elaborate, put it on live stream, whatever, and I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
Do you want me to post the painful questions on the CBA page and see if we can get people to? All right.
Yes, we need to do stuff like that, whatever.
Yep.
So.
I'll make a post.
I like it.
All right, well, thanks again, Jason. Nice tournament again.
Yeah,
Really fun.
thanks.
This setup here, I always say, is really good. We got these cameras. We showed 3 different pairs of lanes and watched a lot of stuff. So great
was
job,
good.
and great job to your
Thanks.
wife and daughter for helping. And again, thanks, or congratulations, Chad, 42nd CBA title.
Yep. We'll see you guys next month.
Yeah.